Minecraft sponsoring the show, is it?
Minecraft,
We'll figure it out. But anyway, as we do, boom, we're back. Squeeze the Neck podcast. Look who's back with me, my old mate Richie Gray. Thanks for doing this again, mate.
Thanks for coming back, mate.
Always. Hopefully we'll come back over and over again. I just met your boy who's 6, so hopefully when he's 16 and he's an animal and he's ripping people's heads off, we get him on, as we said before, the first father and son pairing. So we'll see how it goes in 10 years. Watch this space. But mate, we spoke off camera. You was halfway through going through a sprinting analogy for old people doing grappling. I stopped you because I wanted to switch this on and go. But for anyone who doesn't know, check out Richie's first episode, big episode, episode 100. Went for about 6 hours, not quite, but it was a long one. Check it out, it's in the description below, so watch that one out as well. We spoke about sponsors, all kinds of mad stuff, didn't we? And obviously it was a good one because I'm back, and it was less than a year ago, so it must have been a good one. But mate,
it was a good one.
Before we get into anything, I want to carry on with where we was talking. For anyone who doesn't know, former professional boxer, grappler now, blue belt in judo, you told me?
Blue belt in judo.
Blue belt in jiu-jitsu.
Blue belt in jiu-jitsu.
All-round animal. We get into a lot of things, but carry on with where you was, because what we was talking about was older generation doing grappling and belts and parameters. As you were, young Richie.
It's the parameters of different obstacles an athlete could be encountering. Age being one of them, right? We'll use age. We've both got elder grapplers. Is that the right way to put it?
We both know old people who grapple.
Over 60 grapplers, right?
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
You can't hold them to the same standard as a 17-year-old, right? You can't ask a 65-year-old man to go and omoplata a wrestler, a 16-year-old wrestler, yeah? So imagine it in terms of a sprinter. To qualify for your blue belt in sprinting, you've got to run 15 seconds. To get your purple belt, 14. To get your brown belt, 13. Black belt, 11 seconds. Mm-hmm. As you get older, that becomes less possible. Mm-hmm. It may not even be possible for them to do that. All the training in the world. So changing the lenient, it's not even the leniency, the standard that you hold an elder or a grappler of different obstacles, hold them to a different standard. Okay. Even almost like a competition grappler versus a non-competition grappler. Right. They're not the same. No. Like a blue belt, competition blue belt ain't the same as a club blue belt. No. I'm not sure that many people will disagree with that.
And a blue belt's a good example because it's such a wide in terms. Do you know what I mean? Like whereas like a purple belt, brown belt, black belt, black belt's a bit tricky because it goes up to world class and whatever. But do you know what I'm saying? Like you can kind of gauge that.
I think it's easier to gauge masters than it is adults.
Okay.
Because you don't get your blue belt until you're like 16, right? Am I wrong with saying that?
I think so. I think there's exceptions now, isn't it? I think it's different now.
Probably is now. Yeah. But from my knowledge here, you get a lot of kids that go through the whole kids grading system. They're 10 years deep and they get blue belt. Oh, yeah. And then you could have a guy that's just started, he's a couple of years in, and got their blue belt. I'm like, it's not the same.
Not the same.
Not the same. And then that blue belt child, if you want to call it that, gets their purple belt. They're still 14 years deep. Yeah. Most of the masters divisions, if you started at a white belt master, by the time they get blue belt, you're both probably about, one might be 2 years, one might be 4, but give or take. Them adult divisions are terrifying because don't know what you're going to get. And
also other arts come into this, and judo's relevant because there's people in the blue belt division as an adult that have been doing judo for 20 years and they're a black belt, they've competed at whatever games and now they're just a blue belt in jiu-jitsu, which is like, it's a bit moody in it on their part more than anything, not so much rule-wise, but like if you've been doing judo your whole life and you're 25, you started when you're 5, say, you've got 20 years experience, you're like a high-level black belt in judo and you've just started doing jiu-jitsu, you're competing in the blue belt division against, let's say, a 25-year-old who started jiu-jitsu at 24 and he's having his first blue belt competition now. It's moody, isn't it? You know what I mean? You shouldn't be doing that for the person that is the black belt in judo because it's like, what are you achieving? You're going to beat a novice.
You know what you're going to be doing. Right. Yeah.
Exactly.
It's a bit like, it could happen, a bit like I always say to people when they're starting out boxing or any striking art, Thai boxing, whatever it is, I say, the scariest time is going to be for you in your first 5 fights. Mm-hmm. Specifically your first couple, and that's because we don't know their history. Mm-hmm. We know nothing. They could have had 1,000 fights in Thailand, and they come here and say it's my first ever boxing match. Because they've got a 0-0-0 record, we know absolutely nothing. Right. By the time they've had 10 fights, let's say it's 10 fights, 10 wins, 10 knockouts, 10 fights, 10 losses, all by knockout, at least we know something. Mm. If you're fighting someone's had 10 fights, at least you know something. I can say, oh, right, okay, big puncher, blah, blah, blah. I've got some context. When their record's 0-0-0, you have no fucking idea. Right. 0. Right. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, of course.
Rod Tang starts fucking doing MMA or whatever, and they go, all right, yeah, this guy started a year ago. He's had no MMA fights.
Yeah.
I've never had any MMA fights.
Yeah.
Fair fight.
Yeah.
Do you see what I mean?
Yeah, of course,
that kind of...
And they happen. We've all been at white collar shows where that's the case, clearly, right? Because they're both, you know, there's a guy in there. I was at a show, I won't mention the name because I think they're scumbag people to do it. But I was at a show and a bloke had been training for, he said 3 weeks. And you know when you asked him how long he'd been training, he went 3 weeks. And you go like, sorry?
Very quick and precise.
Sorry? 3 weeks. Right, anyway, so he's having his first match 3 weeks. I don't know the other guy's story, but he could clearly box a bit and it went exactly how you expected it to go. Now, it goes a little bit to like the blue belt thing we was talking about before. Like, what are you getting from that? But striking's more relevant because he's not going to give a spark out, right? He's been training for 3 weeks. Firstly, whoever's let him box after 3 weeks, I go, right, you know, what are you doing to start with?
I do not accept for 1 second that, and I'll give you an example. If I was doing the coaching and matching for a white collar show, I can tell if you're faking it. I don't care what anyone fucking tells me. I can see you faking it.
Yeah.
You can try your very best to look as white belt as you want. It's just going to be hard to disguise. One of my mates was going to have a fight, and they sent videos of everyone sparring, and then my mate sent me the video and goes, "What do you think? They're trying to match you with this guy." I was like, "Listen, that ain't him sparring. That is fucking acting. That's fucking." Right. That is, I don't know what that is. That he's turning his head and he's going like this. I'm like, no coach in their right mind would put him in the fight if he actually boxed like that. That is fake as fuck.
Right.
And they try and do that. Yeah. And if the coach can't or the matchmaker can't recognise that that's fake, you shouldn't be matchmaking, mate. You should be able to look at 100 videos and go, right, legit. Oh, don't know. You know, have half an idea what's going on. I know you can't really see speed and power. You kind of see people watch Manny Pacquiao and Floyd Mayweather and go, oh, they've just done this. You know, I don't know why. You don't know how hard that is. They're as close as putting two novices into each other.
Right.
So two novices, the gap is like this. They're both rubbish.
Right.
Two elite world-class athletes, the gap is also this.
Yeah.
So it's easy to make Floyd Mayweather look bad if you're Manny Pacquiao.
Right.
It's easy for Floyd Mayweather to make Canelo look bad if you're fucking Floyd Mayweather.
Right.
You take any one of them down any more notches, you're not going to be able to make them look
clear,
bad.
doesn't it?
It becomes very clear.
And especially a couple of rounds deep. Like, it might look close-ish the first couple of rounds, right? But then as time goes on, class shows, doesn't it? Like, we've all been there and seen, like, sparring sessions.
Usyk does it. He does fuck all for a few rounds and just takes on data, doesn't he? Takes on data.
Yeah. Just moves around, stays in his sort of like, what would you call that? Like download phase, if you like. And he's watching what's going on.
Yeah,
exactly. And I was at the Dubois fight, and it was I'm sure you watched it, right? It was like, it weren't
Big
close.
punch,
It just wasn't close though. But it was like immediate. It was one of them ones, you know, like everyone was expecting Dubois, and I thought Usyk could win. But then a couple of days before the fight, you know, when you go, he might chin him here. Dubois might do this. But then like when you watched it, it was one of them for me. I'm sitting there and like a round and a half in, you're going, oh yeah, this is not going anywhere. This is not even a fight now. Do you know what I mean? But
it's Tony Bellew. You boxed Tony Bellew as well, didn't he?
Usyk did, yeah.
Yeah, that one comes to mind. And I remember a lot of people going, oh, he's doing well in the first 2 rounds, and I was like,
he was using too much energy though to stay there, wasn't he?
I mean, he's landing shots, but I think there's a calculation process going on here.
Something's going on. Yeah,
you know what I mean? He can. He's kind of. He's not getting his head punched in for first 4 rounds, but he's losing them. But he's collecting data. He wants to see how he's responding to stuff.
Yeah,
see how he's responding. I'll try and get fighters to do this all the time. Set a trap. Set that trap for round after round if you have to. Do not let the trigger go until you're 100% sure. And Usyk is an absolute master at that.
Well, that's a big thing with the novices as well, isn't it? Is the overreaching thing, which becomes very obvious to see when you see some of these white-collar shows where there is a mismatch. Yeah. And they're still out there. They're not as much as they used to be, right? Because I'm sure, like me and you are similar age, right? 25. But when the like back in the day, like amateur boxing, when you're sort of in your late teens and stuff, if someone said white-collar, it was kind of frowned upon, wasn't it? It was looked down on, like, fucking white-collar boxing. What are you doing? You know what I mean? But it's not, obviously it's changed now, but the mismatches are still there at points, right? And when you see that kind of, the overreaching thing is the one that comes to mind firstly. And when Usyk's watching, like obviously we're talking about beyond top level. This is elite level. Yeah. But he, like Tony Bellew's a world champion himself. Do you know what I mean? Like, I think he'd only lost twice before that, or 3 times maybe. But it was, you know, watching. To me, that one was like only a matter of time thing. Like to your point, do you know what I mean? Like Tony Bellew was winning the rounds, but it didn't look like he was going to win the fight. Do you see where I'm coming from? That was like. the sand's running out of the hourglass here. Do you know what I mean? And it's coming. But you know, the opinions on the one I wanted to talk about, which comes to mind there, is Anthony Joshua and Jake Paul, which happened recently. I was trying to talk around and kill some time, so we don't jump on you straight away. But did you watch that one?
Yeah, I did. Yeah,
I'll see it the next day. I didn't watch it. I didn't stay up to watch it. But go on, tell me. What are your thoughts on that?
I think I went out on the Jiu Jitsu Christmas party.
Okay.
And then
messy one.
And then went. Listen, it's probably the biggest night of the year for me. I don't really go out and drink too much. I don't like that social situation, but that's one night of the year where I feel completely comfortable and happy with all the people.
Gotcha.
Great vibes. We'll circle back to that. So
Yeah.
I got home at whatever time, and I was like, I'll tell you what. Let's see what's going on.
Oh, right, brilliant.
I watched it
Perfect.
then, live, yeah.
Nice.
And what do I think of the fight?
Yeah.
I think there was a lot of, my belief was, anything other than a first round devastating, horrifying knockout of Jake Paul is a complete and utter setup. That was my initial thought going in. Anything other than that is complete bollocks. Yeah, and I'd struggle to believe anyone to say, yeah, but he can run away, he can do. You're talking about an Olympic champion, 2-time heavyweight champion of the world. Come on. I think Anthony Joshua wasn't in a rush at the start. I still think he could have sparked him in round one if he wanted. I will not believe anything other than that. I think, and it's just my opinion, there's going to various different opinions on it. I do think he thought that he's having fun throughout. It was low pressure for him. I don't think he had any concerns. Enjoyed the whole build-up. Knew what he was going to get paid. Super happy about that. Enjoyed the ring. Imagine you could bottle up the drug of doing the ring walk without the risk of losing.
Right.
It's kind of like that.
Yeah.
Like imagine they say, right, Rich, you're fighting this geezer. On paper, he's had 45 fights. Looks the bollocks. But you know full well you're smashing their head in easily. You're going to be like, fucking easiest night of my life, getting paid loads of money. I think Anthony Joshua was there. No risk whatsoever. Loads of fucking money, loads of fucking media, fantastic all round. So I think when he got in there, at first I think he thought, I'm in no rush. Moped about a little bit, mooched about, sort of enjoyed the day a little bit in the ring. I do think when it got to like 3 or 4, he started to think, I should probably get him out of here at some point. and if you notice, he did put his foot on the gas a little bit. I think, was it 6 it finished?
6
I think 5 he put his foot on the gas a little bit, and then 6 he was trying to cut him off, if you like. Because I can't expect to see Anthony Joshua chasing him, because you're a world level boxer, mate.
You can't chase him.
Don't fucking chase anyone. Cut him off. Cut him off, yeah? You see what I'm saying with that? I think for the first few rounds, if you want to give someone a chance, you'll just chase them. Follow them around. Cut you off and then chase you that way.
Yeah.
But really, you've just got to cut. If you want to engage in a boxing match and you know how to use the ring, it's really easy to engage. Unless they're really fucking good on their feet. If they're good on their feet, then obviously pinning them down is a bit different. I think Anthony Joshua mooched about for a few rounds and then started to think, probably should get him out of here now. And then got him out of there. I was not expecting Jake Paul to be awake at the end.
No, that surprised me as well.
Yeah, I don't. The punch looks. When you watch the replays, the punch looked fucking horrible.
Yeah.
Like you look, fuck me, that looks good. But on the time, I thought, I feel like he still had more, and that was kind of.
Yeah.
Did we say round 6? You know, I'm not saying it was scripted. I'm not.
No, yeah, but I know what you mean.
I'm a bit like, and it's easy to say because you're not getting punched in the face by a 2-time heavyweight champion of the world.
Yeah, right.
And fair play to. Like, let's live in a world where there's absolutely no fight fixing whatsoever, and it's 100% legitimate fucking one-on-one fight. Brave man.
Yeah, mate. Listen, people can say what they want, right? It's a brave. Listen, to get on an amateur club show against someone who's had 3 bouts, for example, lost 2 of them, there's still that changing room feeling of like
people don't get, and you do not understand what it's like to have an organised fight if you've never done it.
That's it.
Keep your fucking judgment to yourself.
Yeah.
I don't get nervous for fighting. I don't get nervous for jiu-jitsu, but I understand the fucking pressure. I've been through the journey of, there was periods of time when I would get super fucking nervous, or it just real high stakes, and it really fucking matters, and all. And there's so many different complex feelings that are going on. If you ain't done it, shut the fuck up, because you don't know. And I'm not even someone to say, oh, you're brave for getting in there, because I think, yeah, it's scary, but do it anyway. Shut the fuck up and do it anyway.
Yeah.
But that doesn't discount the fact that there is a lot of emotions and feelings going on in here and in here. And that people that ain't done it, you know nothing. And even jiu-jitsu, I get a little bit like, but it's this much compared to a striking match.
It's different. It's very different.
When I've had Thai fights and boxing matches, it is worlds different, mate. Yeah. There is a whole risk that you could get your jaw spun. And I don't even think that's the problem. I think it's the pressure to not get humiliated.
Yeah.
Because I think we spoke about it last time. The culture in striking art is getting beat. Oh, matters. In jiu-jitsu and grappling, just tap out, go home. Who cares?
Yeah, it's different.
Just tap out, go home. No one cares. You can have 100 matches in jiu-jitsu and lose half, and people will be like, "They still won ADCC. He's done this. He's done that."
Yeah.
Don't talk about the losses. In boxing, you could be a 9 weight world champion. You know, you could do everything. As soon as you lose something, you go, it's easy fights though, wouldn't it? Mayweather picked them all at the right time. Canelo picked them at the right time. They're not really box anyone. Shut up, you cunt. They fucking box everyone that was available at the time.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, how many times have you heard this? Anthony Joshua's an example because he gets stick off people. I've sat there, and I'm sure you have too. You sit there with people who never boxed a day in their life, and they sit there and they say about Anthony Joshua when he lost to Andy Ruiz, he's useless, Joshua, isn't he? Like, I knew he was all hype. And you know, you look at it.
He's a second generation heavyweight boxer.
Right.
Because his dad was a heavyweight boxer and all.
Right.
He's not just some mug that started boxing. Andy Ruiz and Junior.
Serious
Fighters.
Yeah, serious guy. Like, he'd lost once, I think, at the time, and into Joseph Parker, like on a split decision in New Zealand.
Yeah.
So you can make it out with you. But like the mentality behind saying, he's useless. Like, look what he's done. He's like Olympic gold medalist. He was a heavyweight champion of the world by then. But he don't know nothing because he's lost one fight. But that's the culture around it. The thing with the Jake Paul fight, I look at it in so many different ways. Like, as you said, for all the stuff...
mad tangent, then I went
right, no, that's what we do. Trust me, I'll start ranting about flat earth at certain points. But, like, Jake Paul, you can't say that at a certain point in that change room, he sat there before going at Anthony Joshua, his mind's going, like this... this could go really, because it could go really wrong, right? Like, and like, jokes aside, and it didn't, thank God. But like, when we say could have gone really wrong, that could have gone as wrong as a boxing match could possibly go, right? It's a mismatch. It shouldn't have been allowed to happen, right?
You've done enough boxing to have accidentally hurt someone.
Of course,
you know when you're trying to, boom, boom, boom.
Yep.
You're so relaxed. You go, boom, you flick it, but they slip that way, and it ends up your elbow's right in the right angle. It's go boom, and you think, oh, fucking hell, sorry.
And you can even be better in that scenario sometimes because, like you say, you're so relaxed, and you know the person that's in front of you ain't as good as you. You know they can't really hurt you. So you're in that kind of like, just move my head that way,
and
throw the shot.
I'm going to try
sorry, I've dropped you.
I'm going to try a wild double step slip, round slip, roll, uppercut. And then you go, oh shit, landed.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. And sometimes, you know what it's like when you're in there with someone who's like very novice level. As soon as you move your feet and flinch, they're overreacting and biting on everything. So that becomes very easy. Now, I know Jake Paul's obviously not a novice and people knock him, whatever. But the level between
we can touch on that.
Right, we'll get to that.
Him being a boxer, yeah.
Right, because I see him very different than like, you know, your KSIs and your other sort of misfits names, right? Yeah. But like Anthony Joshua, the levels between them. Like, have you ever seen Anthony Joshua in person?
Yeah.
Like,
he's enormous.
Joe, bro, like that's
a unit, man.
Mate. He's proper 6'6", isn't he? Like, and like they made him cut. They made him cut to 111 kilos, which to me,
111.
That was his cut. That's what he had to weigh for Jake Paul, 245 pounds. But he was like, to me, that's an advantage to Joshua because it's not like how big is 111 kilos when you're in shape. This is a giant man, right? Like if you've got a cut to that.
All right, on that, before we move on from that, there's so many people in jiu-jitsu and they go about, he's a big guy. Look, he's 100 kilos. I'm like. 100 kilo guy in jiu-jitsu, they can be a bit fluffy and it's fine, they're big, but you want to see someone that's 5% body fat, bro, that's like a boxer or a Thai boxer or an MMA fighter, they're enormous.
A 91 kilo amateur boxer boxing the ABAs.
He's
like,
enormous.
Enormous.
People go, I'm floating around 90s and they'll go, because I competed at 85, 90, 95 in jiu-jitsu, they go, would you box at that? I'm like, fuck no.
Different world.
Have you seen a 91 kilo boxer, bruv?
Proper
lump,
innit? Yeah,
proper
fucking lump.
Enormous.
Proper lump. Yeah, because like, I'll tell you one comes to mind. I don't know him well, but like years ago I did a bit of sparring at Lynn with Richard React 4. And when I say a bit of sparring, I was in there doing some training for about 6 weeks and I might have done 3 rounds with him over that period of time. He's boxing at 81 at the time, so it's like, I don't know him, but you know what I'm saying, right? But he's enormous, right? He's like, I mean, his wingspan, like he could touch one side of the room to the other. He's proper 6 foot, I'm guessing 6'5" by the look of him. And like at the time was boxing 81 kilos. Now he obviously doesn't now. He's at heavyweight, I think his last bout, wasn't it? But he's like career cruiserweight until that point. But to your point, and I'm kind of like beating a dead horse here, but he's like, this is a massive guy. Do you know what I mean? Like competing at a thing. But like you say, you go to jiu-jitsu and some guys that weigh 100 kilos, they should be 75 kilos if they're boxing. Do you know what I mean?
The gym guys are like it as well. Like the guys that lift weights, they go, I'm trying to get to 100 kilos. I'm like, I get it. You're trying to put on muscle. Yeah. That's your thing. Cool. It's its own sport. But when they try and compare themselves to a size of boxer, I'm like, it's such a different body type, man. Like you're talking, they're lean.
Yeah.
Every single bit of that 100 kilos is person.
Yeah.
None of it's wasted.
They've cut to get to that probably as well. And that's training. And by the way, also, even if they haven't cut, they're training twice a day. They're eating well. They're sleeping. They're not drinking. Do you know what I mean? They're doing everything to be that, aren't they? Do you know what I mean? Like, how much do you weigh now?
92.
And you competed at what as a boxer?
73.
73,
Something
right?
like, in the amateurs, like anywhere from 70 to 80.
Yeah,
Depends on the
right.
championship,
Because that's the thing as well with the weights. Bringing up the amateurs, you're weighing in sometimes hour before you get in the ring, aren't you? Like 2 hours, sometimes 5 hours, but not really. Do you know what I mean? It's not day before, so like you're essentially weighing
Don't
that.
do too much cutting.
You can't,
Don't do too much
but
cutting.
you do because you starve yourself, and especially back in the day,
you do.
You don't know what
like
to do.
Different kind of cut. Yeah.
Yeah. But you actually have to weigh that sort of thing, don't you?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like I've spoke about it on here many times, but we might have spoken about it before. Like I tried to do 69 one year in like the southwest Londons or whatever, and it was like
they fucking changed the weight categories, didn't they?
Because Olympic years affected it or something, didn't they? Where it was 71.
There was a 75 and a 71.
Yeah.
And I used to do 75 for championships.
Yeah.
I'd be about 77 throughout the year.
Right.
Do 75 for championships, and then they got rid of 75 and went 71. And I think I made 71 for championships once.
Right.
And then the bastards was like, no more 71. I think it was 69.9, something like that. And I was like,
no good. No good here.
I'm going back. I actually think what happened is one of our mates, Mitch Pearson, he's still pro now, box every week. Well done, Mitch. Got another win. We were in the same club and about the same weight, but I'm a bit denser than Mitch. We were both around 74, and I don't know if it was the 69 or 71 that year, but I was like, there's no need for us to fight each other. I'll just fucking go 75. Or we was both in the 71. He could have gone to 75, but I was a bit denser than him. He's taller and longer, but. So that year, I went 75, he went 71. But when they fucked with the weights, it
was hard to deal with.
Changed everything.
Well, that's what I did. I tried to make the 69 that year, and I couldn't. I was 69.8, miss weight, had to box at 75 anyway. I was like 3 days ago, I was 74. Do you know what I mean? I could have just left it alone and win. But anyway, but with the like weight cuts and stuff now, I don't know much about whether people are cutting weight for amateur boxing now. Are people really doing it, or are they got a bit smarter with just
I think they probably still do.
They've got to, haven't they? Because when you're in competitive sport like that, people cheat, don't they?
If you're going in championships...
Not cheat, but you know what I mean? Like,
if you're going in championships and you're 76.5...
Yeah.
And then the other guy is 82...
Yeah.
He's cutting down from 82 to 81.
Yeah,
we spoke about the size.
Yeah.
And then you're either going to be right at the bottom of your category or the top of the next one. You're going to cut it. You sparred Carl Froch recently. How big was he?
I couldn't believe it.
Middleweight.
Super
middleweight.
Yeah. But I couldn't believe how big it was.
Middleweight.
And that's someone who's been around it forever, who knows that people cut and whatever. When I was in front of him, I was like, I can't believe how big he is.
The point is, look at the size of him.
Yeah.
You can't... That's the thing. Are people still doing it? You kind of ain't got a choice.
Yeah, right.
You do have a choice, but you need to... What I do think is it will affect people's bodies different. I don't condone it. I'm not going to say I would never recommend it, mostly because of the fluid on the brain and getting hit.
Especially for youth as well. I don't like youth cutting weight at all. I think just be whatever you want.
Just be fat and get loads,
let your body develop,
loads of experience.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I don't like it because I don't like the thought of it affecting people's brains.
Right.
It's not good for the sport. It's not good for people as individuals. But then everybody's body is different. Everybody's body is different. I've seen fighters that cut. I used to sometimes cut weight. I'd get on the scales. I was notorious for not making weight.
Oh, we should use that guy in the gym.
Not in the amateurs. I always made it. You don't have a choice, do you?
No.
In the pros, it's a bit different.
Right.
So if I was matched at 72 and I at 73. There was a line, I think it was £2 that they'd just accept, or £1.50, whatever it was. But anything over, they'd have to ask the opponent and you usually get a fine.
Right.
And because I was selling hundreds of tickets, I didn't give a fuck. I'd be like, all right, fine. I'll pay the fine, I don't care. So
what's the fine? We're not talking big fines, I'm assuming. They're like...
the fighter just, I don't know, they come up with a number, a few, £300-400, I don't know.
Oh, right, okay.
Don't even know what it was.
Right.
I'd sell so many tickets and I'd be like, all right, that's a couple of promoters paid them for me.
Did they?
Because I sold loads of tickets and I'd go back on the shows, they were pretty like, who cares? Rich,
just swallow it, yeah.
Rich bought in 10 grand over tickets, like just fucking
pay 200
let
for
man
it.
live, let him do what he wants. Yeah, I think I don't know if I've ever paid a single one of them, and I must have come in a kilo overweight.
And for people who haven't watched the first one, how many pro fights did you end up having?
7.
Yeah, so like you're on the road, weren't you? You had hand trouble, which I'm sure we'll get into, but like you're on the road. It's seven fights. Is that kind of level as a pro, isn't it? Where it's like titles are starting to sort of be on the horizon, aren't they?
Yeah.
But anyway, go on, mate, carry on. We're talking about weight cutting.
Yeah, I don't. Everybody's body affects different. I've seen fighters where they cut excessively, and then they get hit and they're knocked out, and they won't get knocked out in the amateurs. And I think it's where they try to cut excessively for the pros. And for people that don't know, unless it's a title fight, it's still same day weigh-in.
Right.
You're still weighing in at 12 o'clock, and you could be fighting. Some shows start at 3. Depends how many are on the show. So you could still be fighting. Again, if you sell tickets, they're not going to put someone that sold 300 tickets on first, then 300 people leave the venue and go out.
Right.
They want to keep the atmosphere. So, take your notepads out. If you want to be in a good spot, selling tickets is the fucking bread and butter. You'll get a better spot on the show, which means more people will see you, better for the promoters, better for opportunity, better for sponsors. Selling tickets should be your fucking bread and butter. And so once you've done a weight cut, you've weighed in and you want more time to recover, sold loads of tickets, you're not going to be on first. You're going to be somewhere in the middle. Right. I used to weigh in at York Hall when I lived in Brentwood at the time. I'd jump on the train, it was straight back to Brentwood. I'd drink loads of water, have a little nap, eat a fucking pizza up. I'd eat like shit as well. I'd eat pizza out, everything. Have another nap and then go back. I'd have Al on the phone. Where are you? Come back here. You're on in a couple of hours. I'd be like, relax, leave me alone.
You're like, I've sold 300 tickets. I'll be there when I want.
I'll be there when I get there. They'll move me along.
Yeah, that's funny that, but that's interesting you say, because the thing that comes to my mind when we talk about the weight, 75 kilos, and you'll know this because you boxed around it as I did. That is the weight where it's such a difference in size coming up, right? Like certain people at 75 kilos are enormous, and some are just not that big, right? That is the division, and maybe there was more focus on it because I was around it, but like that was the one where it seems like there's such a difference in size.
Diversity
like,
of shapes.
Do you know Kirk Garvey is?
Yeah.
Right, he was a club mate of mine, yeah?
He's enormous.
Mate, he boxed at 70,
He's
he went
enormous.
up.
I'm sure I sparred him before at Peacock.
Right, yeah, probably. But he was like, I think he lost the final as a 75 kilo because he was dead at the weight, right? And then he went up to 81 and won the ABAs, right? But even for 81, he was massive. Do you know what I mean? He's a big guy. I mean, Kirk, if this finds you, fill me in, mate. But he was somewhere like 6'3" with long arms, like big. Do you know what I mean?
Think about this, and this will hurt people's feelings. Sorry about that. The women's boxing has similarities to the male boxing. I don't know what the lightest division is. It's fucking straw weight or something, isn't it? And then the heaviest weight is super heavy or heavy, whatever you want to call it.
Right.
How many 55 kilo men do you know?
Very few.
I know one, and he's the guy at the gym. I know one. Okay. I do not know any other fully grown men 55 kilos.
Okay.
So if he goes in the ABAs, how many opponents is he going to find? A couple?
Yeah.
In the whole country?
He might get through London without fighting.
In the entirety of the country, he might get to the finals.
Yeah,
he might get to the finals. Heavyweight, probably get a couple more.
Yeah. Because you get the opposite. You get normal sized blokes that are fat that just can't bother to lose the weight.
And then the closer you get to the average, the more pool of opportunity there is. Right. So, respectfully, the more excessively small you are, the easier it gets. Mm-hmm. The excessively bigger you are, the easier it gets. Because the pool of opposition is less.
Yes.
Same with the women's boxing. Mm-hmm. The pool of opposition is smaller. Mm-hmm. So it's easier to get to them higher levels. Right. Because you haven't got to fight. How many middleweight? Listen, I think one year I had something like 6 fights just to get to Eastern Counties or something like that. You've got to do a semis. And then another year, you go and you think, I'm straight into the Eastern Counties.
Yeah. Right.
Because of the average weight of a human.
Most people are that size, aren't they?
Most people are there. You're going to get the most pool of opportunity, pool of opposition and opportunity, if you like. And the smaller you go, the less pool of opposition, the easier it's going to be. And maybe that's the wrong word. That'll upset people, but it's true. If there's 10 people in the entire country at your weight, how many are your experience for a start? How many are your age if it's junior boxing? Right. Yeah. So you now cut down. All right, age, cut them out. The weight, cut them out. Experience, cut them out. How many people are left? Yeah. Not many, unless you're the standard size human, if you like, the norm. Yeah. If you're excessively big or excessively small, and everything in between is going to start to deplete.
And you've also got more opportunity to train too, right? Because if you like sparring, like someone our sort of size can walk into any gym in the country, anywhere,
probably someone there.
And there's going to be someone to spar with, whether they're a little bit bigger, small, it doesn't really matter. There's going to be plenty of training partners. But to your point, if you are Anthony Joshua, there ain't that many people to spar. You can, of course you can. You can get work out of it. But if he's only sparring with people mine and your size, that's not enough.
Careful. He's got to be careful.
It's not enough, is it?
He's got to be mindful, isn't he?
Exactly. So, but like, to your point of the women's boxing, there's not as many women that want to fight as men, right? Is the reality as well. Do you know what I mean? And you go in, like, how many women do you have in your club when you was late teens?
Oh, we had young girls.
Okay,
you did. There was no women fighting.
Right. Okay, because we had one, like in our club. Do you know what I mean?
We had when I was about 19 to 21, we had a few junior girls.
Did you? Okay.
Juniors, yeah. So they would have been 13-ish.
Right.
But not single senior.
Because we had one, and I've said it on it before. I think she used to box at 51-ish, but she was really smaller than that. She just boxed at that to get about every now and then, like what you're saying. But her sparring, and again, it's like sparring is because like a lot of her sparring, she'd jump in with like me, then she'd jump in with someone else, and she'd like just around here and there. But it's not sparring, right? Because like I'm weighing say 75 kilos at the time, and she's 50.
You've got to be super mindful.
Like you get something from it. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying there's no benefit to it, but if that's your only sparring for her, my pace is off because I'm too slow for her, right? In terms of like what she's going to fight and etc. So there's the other side of that too, isn't it? It's not just the bigger guy who's always got the advantage. Like smaller guys are fast, aren't they?
They are fast, yeah.
And it's hard to deal with.
You need something similar.
Yeah.
Like we have Will at the gym. I coach at Water Fight. He's, as I say, I'm sure he gets to he weighs about 54 kilos most of the time.
Right.
He had to go up 2 weight divisions to get fights.
Right.
Just to get fights because there was no one around.
Right.
There was no one around.
It's tough, isn't it? It's tough. It's tough.
We have the girls there, and some of the boys are like, "Oh, I don't really want to spar them. Don't want to spar them." Right. If you think you're helping them by not sparring them, you're doing the opposite. But
it goes the other way too, like especially if that girl's good. I've seen that too. Like
I tell the girls, if they don't fight back, just fucking beat shit out of them.
But they don't want to spar them because they know that girl's good, and then they get sort of like chopped up a bit. No, you shouldn't. But like that happens too.
You go out there, you spar them. Don't want to fight back. She's gonna beat the fuck out of you.
Yeah, it should.
I need you to hit them back. You ain't got to dig them in the face and try and rock them.
Yeah.
But you need to be letting them know what a punch is. There's no good, like when I like to do drills and stuff with them. If I say, right, I'm going to show you how to parry a jab, and I stand here and go to you, right, parry this jab, boom, and I do it from here, and then you've got to block from here.
Yeah, right.
Like, hold on.
Doing no favours.
Now every time someone faints, you're going to go to there. And now look what you've done. Now I'll just feint, boom.
Yeah.
You need to be aiming on target for her to give her realistic expectations on how to block a shot. Because if she practices blocking shots here,
no good.
Every time someone throws a feint, she's going to go.
Yeah.
And then you just go feint, boom, and she's going to get hurt because you're not giving her the respect that she needs.
Right, and no one's getting anything from it. Because I believe this too, it'd be interesting at your point too, because you've done a lot of obviously grappling and stuff as well after your boxing. But like when you spar, let's say boxing for example, if you spar with someone that you know you're a lot better than, right? I'm not talking about a complete nobody that can't box. I'm talking about someone who's a novice, but you know you're a lot better than them, right? But you can move them around. I feel like you can if you do that right, you can still get a lot from that. Do you agree with that?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Because it's not about winning all the time, right? But you can sort of play the game. You're in that relaxed setting, like you said earlier. Sometimes you chin someone because
stuff a bit more.
Right, that's what I'm getting at. And I think that becomes more clear in grappling because you're not smacking someone in the face. So the consequences, you're going to tap them, but it's not the same.
The funny thing is about Jiu Jitsu is usually the more novice person don't even know.
Right.
So you get like I don't know, a good white belt.
Yeah.
And the brown belt's trying stuff out, and the white belt fucking escapes side control, gets on top, and then they're like, fucking escape side control.
I'm doing him, yeah.
And the brown belt's like, yeah, man, done me.
Yeah. Oh no. Yeah.
Oh no.
Yeah. But it's true. But like at the same time, if you're and everyone, this is not breaking news by any means, but if you're, let's say you're a white belt, right, and when you start. It don't really matter whether you're against a good blue belt or an elite black belt. You're not going to know the difference, right? Because you're getting sort of played with anyway.
It's just more obvious in boxing with my point.
That's what I'm getting at. Yeah, it's more obvious because you're getting cracked for it and you'll pay for it more, right? And then, listen, if you're going into a jiu-jitsu hall and you're getting tapped 5 times in a round, it does not matter, does it? You're fine. No. You go home. It's no problem. Unless you're an idiot that holds the armbar for no reason and whatever. But if you're going, let's say me and you sparred and I'm a complete novice and you drop me 5 times in a round, that ain't a good day, is it? That ain't a good day for me. Like, and also. Yeah, you're an idiot for doing it for the starters, but at the same time, it's like that's proper damage, isn't it? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You can't be getting dropped and bounced around, but which I think's dying out in gyms now, isn't it? I think that kind of
there's
stuff
less
is
of it. There's less of it.
Yeah.
I've took so much from different sports that I've done, judo, jiu-jitsu, boxing and Thai boxing, and they all coach or did coach very differently. The methods were so different.
From sport to sport, you mean?
Yeah. The way they treat the athletes, the culture is different. Like my boxers, I'm on them about having a tank. I don't care if you're rubbish, you need a good tank.
Yeah.
Last place you want to be is empty gas tank. Jiu-jitsu a little bit different. If you get someone on a side control, you can pin them, recover a little bit, let them suffer and burn them, cook them a little bit for a minute if you've got the ability to get there. So they're very, very different, but I've taken bits from each sport and integrated them into the other one. And I really think, for me, I've done that. I haven't seen out if the other boxing clubs are doing it. I know jiu-jitsu clubs, because I visit more jiu-jitsu and judo nowadays, but the boxing clubs used to be very old school, man.
Yeah,
very old school. Don't even know if there was much science to what they were doing. It was just fucking.
There also weren't a lot of teaching sometimes, was there? There's like going into the bag and then spar and like if you're still here in a few months, maybe we'll teach you how to jab. Like, do you know what I mean? That used to go on. Yeah.
It's mad when I think back about clubs that just do that. They're like, right.
And good clubs too. We're not talking about just dumb clubs. Like clubs have got champions and things. Do you know what I mean? But it's like I guess that comes down to like like a factory. Do you know what I mean? Like if you put enough people through, someone's going to come out on top, aren't they? Do you know what I mean? You're going to have a special athlete that's going to win things, or he's got the certain attributes, or he just picks it up, or whatever. Do you know what I mean? Like
they want it as well. They kind of want it more. You can always see that when someone wants it.
Right.
Like they want to spar. They want it. Can I do pads?
Yeah.
Can I spar? Are we sparring today? We're doing pads today. Them two things are big deals. Can we spar? Are we doing pads?
Versus the people that hide behind the bag.
Because I forgot my gum shield.
I forgot my gum shield's a big one, isn't it? Everyone forgets their gum shield. The amount of gum shields that have been forgotten over the years is ungodly amount.
The gyms want to have a kettle and a stack
of
gum shields.
So I've got a gum shield in, mate. Don't worry.
Don't worry about it.
It's only £2. We'll boil one for you. Fuck, I've got to do it now. But like, you brought up judo there, which I want to get into because like I've recently started doing judo. I'd like everyone to know I'm a white belt in judo, waiting for my red belt to appear in the post, but we get to that. But like, to your point about different arts and how they do things differently is true. But like, where I've been doing sessions recently with judo, and I'm already experienced in grappling. So my mindset coming into it is, I just want to learn judo. I'm not coming here to put my tricks on you because what's the point?
I don't want to drag you down and then start using jiu-jitsu.
Right, because exactly. So I've been doing like private sessions with, do you know Ray Stevens is? Ray Stevens, silver medalist in the Olympics, right? Great guy. Shout out Ray. Hopefully we get you on here soon, mate. But just aside from obviously he's a 5th degree black belt in jiu-jitsu and a silver medalist at the Olympics. Like to say he's good at judo, don't touch it, right? But aside from that, completely separate, he's a great coach as well. And like he'll do things like sometimes he doesn't even touch me, and it will be like just do this, do that, blah blah. Won't get too deep into that because whatever. But it's the learning I took from that. I went and sparred boxing later the day on my first session with him against pro boxers, and I felt like it helped my boxing, right? Because I was playing that kind of like, I'm relaxed here. I don't have to. Do you see where I'm coming from with that? Like I'm not explaining it the best, but like when I did my first actual judo class, I was paired up with another white belt, but from the feel of him, he was a white belt in grappling, right? And if I wanted
to do it now?
Judo, 6 weeks, if that, 5 weeks, something like that, But
do you not find you've already not going to go off track?
Yeah.
You don't do a lot of gi in jiu-jitsu anyway, do you?
I've put it on more recently. I've started to more recently.
I'm going to make a prediction.
Go on.
If you keep doing judo, your love for gi and no gi is going to switch.
You've lost half the audience.
Honestly, I used to hate gi. I was all no gi, fucking all about that. For all the same reasons everyone else does, in your mind, it's more realistic, or it's just whatever, for whatever reason. For whatever reason, I like no gi, for whatever reason.
But when you say it's more realistic, depends on what time of year.
It depends what time of year. And again, I'll come back to it. At Christmas, we did. I made everyone do a casual closed jiu-jitsu session for the last session of the year at the club. So everyone coming in shirts and trousers. Right.
Rolling in it,
Yeah. Full on sparring, mate.
Yeah.
The more you do judo, and the more you think, I can just do what I want. I can grab you and just throw you around.
Yeah.
You'll want to do a bit more gi.
Right. But here's the thing, I always and people think I don't like gi, and I steer into it. Don't get me wrong. I go gi, get it. But to be fair, I shouldn't say this on camera. Really, I'm ruining my reputation here. But I do like the gi. Do you know what I mean? I do like doing it. I just go through phases, and I teach more no gi, and like it's easy to just show up and wrestle and whatever. Anyway, but with the point I was making with the judo of how to learn, because I'm going with someone else who's a white belt, and like. I'm not going to for example, I'm not going to pull De La Riva and just tap him because I can, right? Yeah. I'm doing this, whatever particular foot sweep we're learning that day, I'm trying it. And like sometimes it's working, sometimes it's not. But that sort of like mindset of trying to relax and actually learn and do it how you've been told, I feel like has benefited every other martial art I do. Because when you take that into your, you take down the sort of stress, if you like. Do you know what I mean? Like we've all sparred.
Do you use grips a bit different now?
Yeah.
And stance a little bit.
Yeah, stance is the big one.
Low,
stance is the big one, exactly. And even when I abandon that completely because I'm sparring properly, no gi, and I'm wrestling, I still sort of the mindset of that kind of flowing and playing. It's not necessarily
dance, if you
like. You're not adding anything you didn't know. You're just sort of like learning to forget the extras that you do that are ineffective. But it's like a constant mental sort of.
Do you have any favourite? I mean, you probably already have favourites from jiu-jitsu anyway.
Yeah. Throws you're talking about?
Yeah.
Well, the one we've been working on a lot is the Uchimata, I believe.
Yeah.
Osotogari.
Yeah.
There's another one, I can't remember the name. You put me on a spot here, mate. You've put me right on a spot here. I forgot me to have it. But what I quite like about judo as well, and this is going to lose some people.
Do you use the Uchimata in no-gi?
No.
Oh, you should.
Yeah, I will, but that's the plan. The plan is I want to add tools to it, whereas I feel like I'm still at the very base level of like learning it correctly.
So you're a guard puller then?
No, God no. No, absolutely not. Double legger.
Double
legger. Blast double. Blast double. Head snap.
The one thing, right, when I'm doing everyone knows at the club that I'm going to try and throw them. Like,
you're the thrower.
I'm trying to get
everyone's
stand up there, Paul God. There's a couple of wrestlers down there. Don will do it all the time.
Right.
I know damn well that bastard can try and fucking body lock me.
Yeah.
He's going to try and body lock me. And all I want to do is keep them fucking hands away from me. I'm going to keep them hands away. Got to keep that fucking hands away. Because as soon as he grabs hold of me, fucking pain in the arse. That double leg, single leg, pain in the arse.
Yeah, because I tell you what, I feel like I've fallen in love with the grappling again more recently, because it's like I feel like I want to do it in terms of not go out there and like, right, we're going to spar. I'm going to do as much.
Yeah, for a second.
Good, go. Got a parent for a second. Go. That's all right. I'll hold the fort.
What's going on, buddy? You can't slide down the banister, mate. Birds? All right. Give me 2 seconds.
Yeah, go for it, mate. Do your thing.
Do some dad stuff for a second.
I'll talk about it behind your back. But it's interesting to hear you talk about. I know you can't hear me now, mate, but I'll talk.
I can actually hear you.
You can hear me, yes. It's interesting to hear you talk about things as someone, like we've all done sort of similar arts, or me and you have done sort of similar arts in varying sort of amounts, right? Different sort of amounts of what you obviously went
different
very
doses
deep.
of boxing and judo.
You went very deep on boxing, and I'm assuming there was a period in your life where you was like boxing was all you wanted to do, right? You weren't thinking about judo when you was a pro boxer, was you?
Nah, it's funny you say that because, and I notice it in other people more now that when I was in boxing, it felt like, it is the best way to explain it. I'd go to someone, oh, you know, the British Southern Area Champion. And they'd be like, or the Southern Area Champion, or the British Heavyweight Champion. They'd be like, I have no idea who that is. How don't you know so-and-so? Everybody knows who so-and-so is. Because you live in that bubble, you think everybody's going to know the Southern Area Champion of every weight division. I'm like talking to my mates and in whatever social situation, and I go, oh, you know, the Midlands flyweight champion. How don't you know him?
They're like, what's the Midlands champion? What's that?
What's that
exactly? Yeah, what's Southern Area mean?
It's just Dave.
Dave.
Yeah. But when you're in that bubble,
yeah,
you think everyone gives a shit. You think, and I see a lot of athletes. I don't know if this is off topic of what you're going there. But when they come out of it, it's really hard to separate from the thinking that people give a shit.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Big time.
And this is good for people that the whole mental health and social media and what have you. Just remember, no one really gives a flying fuck whether you're good or not. No one gives a shit whether you're good or not. Don't worry about it.
No.
Just if you want to compete. Don't worry about it. Boxing, Jiu Jitsu, judo. No one gives a shit whether you're good or not. They actually don't. The conversation will go as far as, didn't Ollie compete the weekend? Yeah. Oh. Yeah. That's about it.
That's it. And they're only doing that really just to be polite most of the time.
Just to be polite.
They couldn't care really.
They don't care.
Do you know what I mean?
And I think when you're in one of them bubbles, I think Jiu Jitsu even more so than boxing. At least the general public watch boxing.
Yeah.
The general public don't watch Jiu Jitsu.
No.
It's fucking boring. I don't watch Jiu Jitsu. I was kind of saying it as a joke to my coach. He goes, oh, have you seen so-and-so? I don't watch fucking Jiu Jitsu. It's gay, bro. It's fucking boring and gay. I'm not watching that shit.
Right. But it's boring to watch, right? Even if you, I was going to say, if you don't know what you're looking at, even if you do know.
One particular moves, I'll be like, oh, I want to sharpen up on a specific move. So I'll find some people that I know have done it, whether it be an MMA or a match, and I'll watch a move a few times while I'm sharpening that tool.
Right.
And then eventually I'll stop watching it. I won't necessarily watch 45 minutes of, you know.
Yeah, no, but I've said it a million times on here as well. I don't learn that way. If you know, like an instructional, my brain just doesn't take it in. I could watch it from start to finish twice. Yeah. And you'll say, what happened? I go, I don't know. I need 30 seconds.
I need the most basic version of something, right? So if I'm going to teach you Kimura, I'm going to say, grab the wrist, throw your hand all over and grab your own, right? That, just no more.
Perfect.
I don't care if you thumbs in, thumbs out, I don't care. Just grab and grab, you're done. Now just go fuck with that for a month.
You could coach me, I reckon. I think we could figure this out. You could teach me a thing. Yeah.
Just go fuck with that for a month and then come back to me with problems. Because if I say to you, tuck your thumbs in, do this, extend the arm, don't let them get the leg, do this, do that, don't turn this, put your hip here, put your weight there, put your leg back, say don't, whoa.
Lost me.
I forgot the first bit now. I can't even get the Kimura now.
But I think there's a lot of power to that, because what you're saying there, it is basically what I was coming from anyway, with the learning different things. It is for learning. No one cares, for starters. But it's like I can spend all day on, say, a Kimura, as the example you gave. I'm going to be a lot better than that, than sort of doing it for 2 minutes here, doing this, doing a toe hold, doing an armbar. Before you know it, it's like I've lost everything, right? Whereas, I'm sure you've had the question from white belts that come in a lot, like, what should I work on? My answer to them is, don't worry, just show up for now. You're not at the point yet where you have to think. Do you know what I mean? Just turn up and feel it all. 6 months down the road, a year down the road is when you should start thinking about that certain position on Wednesday afternoon when fucking Richie got you in whatever grip. Do you know what I mean? But before that, to me, just turn up a lot and experience it, because if you liken it to swimming, you got to just get in the pool first. Shut up about anything else. Don't worry about your stroke rate or whatever else they talk about. Do you know what I mean? Just swim up and down for a bit to start with. And with boxing, I feel like coming from that, and you obviously come from the boxing background too. It's like I don't think you always get the chance to do that because, like we said, sometimes you just go in a club, hit the bag, do this. You're ready to spar now, get punched up, good, come back another time, and then over the course of months, you get better at what you're doing.
And a lot of clubs teach a similar style across the board.
Right, especially amateurs back in the day with this point scoring.
This is our style. This is the club.
That's the club style.
Repton were boxers. Yep. West Ham will just come forward and pressure. Then Jiu Jitsu is very different.
Right.
My advice to a lot of people, obviously, if they know nothing, just fucking show up.
Yeah.
And what's the best thing to start with? I'm like, just pick a move and spam it for the next 6 months. I don't give a shit what it is. No one cares what it is. Pick one move and fucking spam it. Mm-hmm. Just spam the shit out of that. Forget everything else.
Get really good at that one move. Get really good.
At the moment, you'll be rubbish at everything, so it don't matter what you fucking
So you might as well be good at one thing and rubbish at the rest anyway,
and boxing is... A lot of clubs historically have been, right, this is how we box. And this is how we do it. And I really try to do... I've got different strengths from different athletes in the gym. I really try to... I've got one boy, he's, I don't know, 6'3". His arms are 25 foot long. Right. And he tries to get inside. I'm like, man, you're giving yourself...
Not for you,
You do whatever you want. You're a grown-ass man. But it would be much more efficient for you to just jab someone in the face, jab them in the face. And want to hit them with the right hand. What's the point? I get it. Just keep jabbing in the face. If they do nothing, just keep jabbing them. Yeah. If they decide to get around it, boom, let the missile go. Yeah. Then you can... I'm not saying don't use that other stuff, but I'm saying... I'm not going to teach. I've got one boy. He likes to pivot, body shots, body shot. He's really good at it. I'm not going to ask him to go jab and move on his back foot when he likes to naturally rock and roll inside. And then I've got Jack who tries to fight, but he's got long arms. You're very different, Jack. Don't let him get nowhere near you.
Yeah, keep him over there.
Yeah, Leon, get right close to him. Yeah. Don't let him keep you in that jab. Your job's to avoid the jab. Yeah. Your job's to land the jab. Yeah. Completely opposite styles. But with the teaching of certain moves, I will teach them all of them, but I'll give them context of when it may or may not work within their style.
You've got to tailor it to them, right? Because like in boxing, a jab's obvious one, right? Everyone's going to jab to most of the time, right? Roy Jones might have something to say, but everyone's going to jab, right? But if you are the same weight division, like you said, one's 5'6", one's 6'3", you apply the jab differently. The other side of that, I think, is personality plays a part too, which is never addressed from my experience in boxing clubs. What I mean by that is like some people naturally want to stand forward and have a tear up, right? Yep. Whereas other guys want to move and dance and whatever. Now, skills come into that, of course, but there's an element of whatever you teach this lunatic, he's going to step forward and just have a tear up. So I think you got to...
Make it work.
Right, you got to make that work. Don't try and get him to box and move away. Not that I'm talking about anyone specific.
Like a screw shot's a good example.
Screw shot's a great example.
Like if you're a counter punch, you can slip, boom, and then roll out. Whereas there's other fighter, I could say, jab, slip, and then step in with the screw shot. So you get closer. You slip the shot, get inside of it. The other one just slip, boom, and then you keep your distance.
It's an interesting point. Yeah, I was going to say, when you said that, I wasn't thinking, screw, that makes sense.
But when you said screw shot, or create space.
Yeah, I was thinking when you said screw shot's a great example, I thought, screw shot because it can work from anywhere at any size, right? But you explained it better than what I was thinking it. So if you're, for example, there are people out there that box at middleweight that are 6'6". They're rare, but they're out there, right? And that's a particular problem. So if you've got a one style and you're, let's say, 6'1" middleweight, fairly tall. Now you come up against that, your long pinging, moving away style, you're suddenly in trouble here, aren't you? So you've got to be able to apply.
It needs to be diverse.
Right, there's things to figure out. Whereas if you're a 5'6" middleweight, very rare someone's going to be shorter than you. So you can sort of apply that. Do you see where I'm coming from? Yeah. There's things to go. The thing with grappling as well, you're grabbing each other anyway, right? Yeah. So reach is a different sort of...
Size is very, very different.
It's a different thing, right?
Yeah. Strength is the equivalent of size and speed. Right. In boxing, I'm making it up on the spot. I might rethink that. I don't think that was stupid. But in my mind now, I'm thinking, well, the great equaliser in boxing is power and speed. Yeah, right. You can be better than me, but if I'm just faster and stronger, I might be reckless, but I'm still able to hit you.
Deontay Wilder comes to mind.
Yeah. Whereas in Jiu Jitsu, if someone's excessively strong with a good tank, you might end up choking them out. But when it comes to scrambles and the wrestling part, they're going to be a fucking problem for a while until you fucking suss that out. So that could be the great equaliser, if you want to call it that. It's not going to win a match against a seasoned athlete with strength, but it's certainly going to slow them down. Yeah, and it helps in different areas, doesn't it? Do you know what I mean? Like in terms of like skill will take you so far, but again, if you're, let's say... If you're super fucking weak... Right, that's what I was going to say. If you're a 50 kilo person against a 125 kilo person, already the strength, what are you going to say? Strength don't work. Good luck with that. Do you know what I mean? Like, forget anything else. Of course it does. Like, because there's certain people
think about it this way. If you're a 45 kilo woman who's a black belt in jiu-jitsu, very tricky, whatever, or are coming up against someone who's 140 kilos, built, or even heavier than that, built like Eddie Hall, for example, right? The strong man, you know what I'm talking about, yeah?
He's boxed recently, isn't he?
He's boxed recently, he's done MMA recently, the whole deal. But it's like, for him, his technique is grab her and squeeze her, because, or him, whatever. Do you see where I'm coming from? Because it's going to work, right? Whereas I think there's certain places you train at where they overemphasize technique. I've been at places before and people say, like, don't use your strength, don't rely on your speed, all this kind of, and it's like, I get where they're coming from, but at a certain point...
The sentence shouldn't be, don't use your strength. That shouldn't be the sentence.
Don't rely on
your strength.
That's what I think,
what it should be.
Exactly. Because if you are, like, okay, you're a strong man, yeah? Well, why would you not use that? It doesn't make sense. That's part of you. Do you know what I mean? It's like saying...
You're not allowed to be fast then.
Well,
you're not allowed to be flexible.
Not allowed to be tall or something. Do you know what I mean? It's weird, isn't it? It's like, what are we talking about? Like, you've got it. Why would you not use it? I would use it to implement what so-and-so's teaching you, but I guess I'm ranting. I'm probably losing people. But you see where I'm coming from with that, right?
Well, the strength conversation is a conversation that happens in jiu-jitsu. Funnily, I'd hear it more when I was more of a beginner, probably because I was using a hell of a lot more strength and less technique.
Right, as everyone
I hear
does,
it
right?
now less nowadays about strength, but people do talk about the strength thing. Strength, they use strength. Well, why should they fucking not?
Well, yeah, we're going to do leave it at home, of course.
The problem, I suppose the problem with it is, and back to the point of the big athletes and the small athletes, we have a big athlete at our place, Dave. I think he's a blue purple.
Big Dave.
Big Dave.
Shout out
He's
Big Dave.
He's Big Dave. And he's probably the biggest in the gym.
Right. How big are we talking?
I'm saying he's probably 100 kilos, but
Right.
he's a boxer 100 kilos.
Yeah, proper 100
He's not
kilos,
carrying fuck all.
Which is big, yeah.
He's a big dude.
Proper 100 kilos.
Yeah. If he's 95, I'll be surprised, but he's a big dude.
He's a boxer 100 kilos. I like that.
That's what I'm saying,
I like that. I'm going to start using that with people,
And it wouldn't be unfair to say probably one of the strongest in the gym.
Yeah.
But the difficulty that he will have, if he relies on strength all the time in the gym, when he competes, they're going to be just as strong.
Right.
Because they're big cunts as well.
Yeah.
Not that he does this, but athletes like that could encounter the fact that if you rely on strength in the gym, because you're stronger than everyone, what happens when you're not stronger than everyone?
But I think that's part of the learning experience, right? Because then he's got to go to the next part of, and I'm not talking about Dave specifically, I don't know, right? Like mugging Dave off.
Dave will tell you where he lives.
Technique's terrible, Dave. Richie told me. No, but like, it's like he's still going to be strong anyway, right? So it's like learning to implement it, like you said, right? It's learning how to use it versus just like, because I don't like that term, don't use your strength. To me, that's like, what are we talking about? What am I supposed to use then? Like, do you know what I mean? It's when you've come in as well, especially as a white belt, what are you going to use? You've only got strength.
No, fuck off.
You ain't got nothing, have you? Do you know what I mean? And you've got to go through that period of time. But it goes both ways, I think, because we all know them little tricky guys that don't have strength, that are an absolute nightmare forever because they've got to rely on their technique. It's a little bit like saying don't rely on your technique.
We've got a couple of flexible guys, man.
Flexible's problem.
You get them in like, I don't know, I'm making this up. You get them in side control and they get their leg and they just fucking tuck it in. I'm
well,
like,
buggy chokes had a thing the last few years, isn't it? Have you ever been buggy chokes? Just sit up, guys. But anyway,
Ryan, that's a fucking, we've got a lad does that kind of shit all the time.
We got a few of them in our gym that love a buggy.
You think, what are you going to do now? And he's just fucking elastic bands legs all over. I'm like, where the fuck did that come from?
But I tell you one thing as well, because judo, I just want to touch on, you're a blue belt in judo, which is a lot higher up the ranks than a blue belt in jiu-jitsu, right? Yeah. People like it's not the same. It's not like blue belt is not the first belt. Blue belt, I believe, is one below brown in judo. Yeah, so it goes brown, black.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
So you're up there, right? Judo, you're at sort of a level. Do you know what I mean?
Level,
fair level. So like, what's I know vaguely, but you tied it up for me. Like, what's the process in getting your belts in judo?
So I don't know if you know, and again, someone might correct me on some of this. There are a few different types of judo.
Okay.
There's All England. Mm-hmm. There is the BJA and the BJC.
Okay.
Do you know about all these?
I know about the BJA.
Which is the one you're probably training at.
Right.
So what I'm going to put that to is the same as England boxing.
Okay.
So if you're in BJA, it's the athletes in the Olympics will come from BJA.
Right, okay.
BJC is, by the way, All England and BJC are legitimate in their own right.
Right.
But the Olympic athletes are coming from the BJA, not because they're better, because that's the association
that's going to do it.
That's associated with.
So if I'm at BJA, that means I've got a shot at the next Olympics, is what you're telling me. So I'm on the road. I'm on the path. Gotcha. Cool.
So it's like it's akin to the All England ABAs. Versus the Alliance.
Right. Okay.
That's the best way to put it. Yeah. So it's All England.
Are the rules the same? Sorry to cut you off.
No, they're not.
Then right, okay, go on.
So in All England, they do a traditional version of judo where they allow the leg grabs.
Still?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
So back in the day, you know a little bit.
Yeah, I know this. Yeah, you used to be able to grab legs. Now you can't.
Single legs, double legs, all sorts of shit. So The BJA got rid of the leg grabs, changed it to separate it from Greco-Roman wrestling, etc., because it was looking more and more like wrestling.
And was there an issue with stalling in the Olympics, I believe, as well? I might have that wrong, but I think it was because they were such high level, they was able to grab pants and just sort of not a lot was happening.
Quite possibly.
I might be wrong on that, but
what I've heard is that it was to separate.
Right.
The organisers were almost saying you're just doing wrestling in a gi.
In a gi, okay.
And then judo got rid of, or parts of judo got rid of the leg grabs to make it more highlight really and akin to the throws, if you like. So it's focused on the throws. So I've lost my train of thought.
Sorry, I cut you off. There's different factions of judo. You liken it to the ABAs and the Alliance.
Yeah. So I remember them. It was the original question you asked me.
God damn, we're both looking like a couple of dummies here now, aren't we?
Right.
I asked you. Oh, the belts in judo. I asked you the how do you get your belts in judo? Yes.
Okay, so I know that in BJA, which is
that what you're under?
I'm registered for the BJA as well. I've competed in All England, by the way.
Oh, you're a dirty traitor. You're one of them.
I compete in anything. I don't give a shit. I'll just fucking register and sign up and fight people. It don't matter. So what you have to do is in BJA, you'll learn specific set of moves. There's a syllabus. That's the most simple way to put it. There's a syllabus. To get your red belt, you've got to know break falls, if you like. Okay. It's pretty simple. The red belt, turn up, learn a break fall. Don't break your arm on the way down.
I'm nearly there, I think.
Yeah, that's kind of the red belt. I think, if I'm not mistaken, it's red, yellow, orange, green, blue, brown, black.
Yep.
And then you learn part of the syllabus for your red, syllabus for your yellow, syllabus for your orange. But doesn't mean that all clubs are going to give you your belts. So there's also a minimum time requirement as well. I went for the belts quite quick, but it was mostly probably because of my Jiu Jitsu and help. When I went in the judo, there wasn't loads of competitors and I was throwing people up to blue belt in my first few weeks just because I had a bit of background in Jiu Jitsu and I used to like throwing people anyway. Uchimata was a move I already had locked in before I started judo, so I'd already had a solid move that I could set up and use. So in judo, technically in the BJA, there is a syllabus which has specific set of moves plus a small time capsule that you've got to be a minimum amount of time in each belt.
Right. Which is what we're talking like?
It starts off small and then gets bigger as you go up in the belt. So it's like, I don't know, 3 months or 6 months for the first few belts, and then when you get to blue or brown, it then becomes 6 months to a year, something, whatever the specifics are. So All England, apparently they do their gradings different. So they can say, I was actually at a grading once, so I visit gyms all over the fucking country all the time. And
your drop-in day was a grading day. You was like, come on.
It was. So I turn up and they did a lineup. You know what a lineup is?
Yeah, of course, yeah.
So when they get to get a black belt in judo, there's a few versions, but one of them's a lineup. You have 5 fights on the bounce. You got
5 ippons, right? You need 5
you've got to get 5 ippons in a row against all brown belts, by the way. So, or you can accumulate 10 season points from. Anyway, I've turned up at this gym and they've got a white belt there. And they've got. I didn't know what was going on. They go, right, everyone line up. And they made this poor white belt fight everyone. There's about 10 of us. There's about 10 of us that fight everyone. At the end, the guy goes, "You did well, but I don't think it's good enough for your next belt." So the All England version, what they do is they do it a bit like Jiu Jitsu and say,
right, not ready.
You're ready or you're not ready. They'll say, "Do you know what? Yeah, you're ready," and they give it to you. Whereas the All England is very different. The BJA is very different.
Bit moody that day, wasn't it? They could have. He's only a white belt. They could have given me his red belt, couldn't they?
I could, or someone could technically just give you an All England brown belt, I think. And so there you go, you're good enough. You are good enough.
I see, okay. Like in Jiu Jitsu.
Yeah, but you could technically go from no belt to brown belt immediately in Jiu Jitsu. Moneyberg maybe, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That kind of stuff. In BJ you can't physically do that. Right. You have to register every belt.
Oh, you do?
Yeah, so I've got an app and it has your license on it, it's got all this stuff, what belt you are. You have to register on there so that they track your time, etc., etc. Well, that's kind of the judo way.
Yeah.
Depends on.
But either way, the black belt you have to line up, right? Is it?
I don't know about All England. I don't know about All England. So all I've done, I've seen their Q grades.
Okay.
So there's Q grades and Dan grades. Q grades are all colour belts.
Yep.
Dan grades are black belts. All the Q grades they do it in the gym, and the Dan grade for BJA you have to go to a specific grading event. You can't get graded in your own club.
Right.
You have to go to a.
Oh, you can't in your own club. That's interesting.
So you can get all the Q grades. So you can get graded up to brown belt in your club by your coach.
Then I'll go somewhere and fight for a black belt.
You can't get given your black belt by your coach. You have to go to a grading.
That's interesting, isn't it? Yeah. That's good. It's fair, though, isn't it? Because then it's
that
legit. I think that's good. I
good.
do like the idea of fighting for a black belt, which is good. Now, I'm assuming sitting here talking to you, you're blue belt and both. you want to be a black belt in both one day.
Yeah.
You want to see?
Nice.
So do I, right? Yeah, so we're going to sit here one day. We'll do episode 27 between the two of us. Yeah. we both have black belts on the table like that. I can't move, Richie, but I've got a black belt.
We both would have been at the same grading, maybe.
Against each other, looking for an ippon.
Yeah. One of us is going home disappointed today.
Exactly. I'm not doing the podcast Tuesday, Richie.
That'll be the day to do the podcast.
That's the one after we've got black eyes and bad knees or something. But like, I want to take a step back just briefly because I know we covered a bit of it last time. But like with boxing, you had bad hands. Is that was the definitive reason you stopped boxing? Was it?
Yeah.
And now, so if you hadn't had bad hands, I know things work funny, but would you still be a boxer now? Do you think?
Probably. I don't know. Time goes. Been a long time, maybe.
Take out age and like whether you'd retired.
I was selling tickets. I had loads of good sponsors. Like I was making a living, so I wasn't working. I had full-time sponsorship,
which is huge, by the way. Which is probably something to say because a lot of pro boxers aren't really pro boxers. They are pros, but they're not making a full-time living. They're also a scaffolder or whatever during the week, right? Because it's very, very hard to make a living as a pro boxer, isn't it? Do you know what I mean?
Absolutely. Like there are people out there that are able to train full-time all day, every day, full recovery, full training. You want to compete with that. You want to get some sponsors, man.
Right.
And the subject I love.
You're the sponsor man, aren't you?
I've got a couple of sponsors now for Jiu Jitsu.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. It's not the same thing. It's not the same thing. When I was boxing, it was full time.
Yeah.
Now I'm doing it. It's just kind of a mutual thing.
Yeah. Nice.
If I want to compete, they'll pay for competitions or buy kit and
what have you.
Nice. I just put them on social media. I couldn't ask them for £1,000 a month.
Well, you could. They might say, yeah.
I could. Well, I could. Maybe at some point, someone £1,000 a month. Yeah. But then I'd have to agree to say, I don't know. I will ensure I do 30 competitions a year or something. Right. Whatever the agreement may be.
Yeah.
So let me try and call out my sponsors. One of them I'm almost announcing right now.
Oh, right. Is this an exclusive? Is this a Squeeze the Neck podcast exclusive?
Yeah, this is an exclusive right here. Uh-huh. David Crichton from We Educate Recruitment, so for teachers, getting teachers jobs basically. Pad's going to say to me, make the advert better, son.
Better.
This is the announcement.
This is the announcement now.
This is the recruitment announcement. And Bassett and Hair Tattoo, they actually sponsored me when I was boxing.
Oh, right. Okay, so they're a long time.
Both of these guys are people that I know really well anyway. Real tight with both of them. The tattoo company sponsored me. So he started his tattoo, or he opened his tattoo shop when I turned pro. So we kind of made an agreement at the time, I'll tell you what, you fucking do tickets for me and advertise me as a boxer, and I'll advertise you and advertise the shop. So when I turned pro, we were both droning out onto everyone about each other's stuff, yeah.
And how old was you when you turned pro?
What have I been away? 5 years, 6 years now. That would have been 9 years ago. I suppose I would have been 19. I would have been 26.
Yeah, so not a kid. You was sort of like
mid-20s.
You was a grown man. Yeah. Because that's what's hard too. Oh, sorry, that's what's easier sometimes if you're turning pro at 18. Because you're probably still living at home.
We've had this conversation before about sponsorship and how important this is. If you're at home, your parents are a bit different because maybe you've got less worry about with bills, etc. And I truly believe the way to pick up it's all a big circle is the sponsorship and the tickets and the opportunity you can create within boxing. Selling tickets isn't as hard as people think it is, but if you can sell tickets, and there's loads of methods you can use to sell tickets. Your sponsorship deals with companies can be just to take tickets. They might just like boxing anyway, and they would have come anyway. They're going to buy 10 tickets anyway. But you say, look, I'll advertise you, and you buy 10 tickets. It guarantees they're going to buy 10 tickets every time. Rather than you saying, I'm fighting again, you come in. It's guaranteeing that they take the tickets. And that's a good way to set yourself up for sponsors and tickets, etc. The more tickets that you can sell, the more opportunity you can get, because you're going to get, as we've just said, you'll get a better spot on a show. You'll be in the middle of the show, not the start. If you sell 20 tickets, they might put you on. You won't even get on a show at 20 tickets. In a pro game, they won't. You're out.
Right, because that's just your mates, and like it's not worth
20 tickets. No, you won't. You've got to sell minimum of something like 70 tickets. Otherwise, you've got to pay.
A lot of tickets, isn't it? Don't sound like a lot, but then when you sit there and you think about 70 people, it's a lot of tickets, isn't it?
It's not a lot of tickets when you've just turned pro. I'm doing my professional debut. I've got the world is my oyster. Right. I want to find Canelo. It's great. And then when you ask them to do it again 2 months later, and then again 2 months later, most of these people don't like boxing. Right. You were in the bubble, remember? You're in the little bubble that you think the whole world cares. You care about the Southern Area flyweight champion. Yeah. But you're asking someone that don't even know the current heavyweight champion of the entire world is to come to watch you and spend £50 on a ticket, £30 on a train, extra money on beer. Kids, maybe they've got to put, sort out some sort of
hell of a commitment. Yeah.
Food, you're asking every 3 months, you're asking someone to drop down £200 to come out and Yeah?
Yeah.
So selling tickets is a pain in the arse.
Right.
So you want to get businesses that can commit to that, and then it creates opportunity. You sell 20 tickets and they're going to put you at the start of the show. You're not going to get on the show for 20 tickets. You sell a low amount of tickets, you might be on the first fight of the night or the last fight of the night.
And does that get you a better opponent too, in terms of
No, not really.
Not an easier shot?
It'll create opportunity. So, it'll create opportunity. If you're selling $5,000 worth of tickets, you're gonna fight some journeymen anyway.
Yeah.
You're gonna fight some journeymen. If you can't sell tickets, the promoter can't pay journeymen anyway. So then you could just fight 50-50 straight away. It's just not the done thing.
Right.
It's not the done thing. To go back to the Jake Paul thing, you got to think about this. Most fighters in their first 10 fights are going to fight journeymen, for the majority of them. Every now and then, someone might fight the odd 50-50 here and there. The opportunities come up. Lighter division, there's less pool of opportunity. Right. The more middly or normally weight you get, the further, more fights you've got to have to get the opportunity. Think about this. Dave's up the road's had, not Big Dave, Dave up the road's had 10 fights, he's boxed 10 journeymen, they come to get their payday. They may or may not try to win, they're just there to give you a pain in the arse. Some of them will come and just to get a win, because they've got to win. At some point the board stuck them on them you need to stop getting your head kicked in. But he's had 10 fights.
Don't want to get stopped today.
No. And they need to get a win as well, show that they're trying.
Is that what it is now?
Yeah, or at least win some rounds, apparently.
Is that what it is?
Yeah,
well, what typically happens, and I know it's a bit of a side note, but a lot of times the journeyman would come out, it'd be a good fight for the first round, they'd realise they ain't got enough to win, and they go into shutdown mode, right? And then it's like they're trying to get to the end and not get stopped.
They've not. I want to change the statement. They've not got enough to win. Most journeymen are better than most prospects.
Okay.
Absolutely better.
Okay. You'd know more than we got. Yeah.
Most journeymen are probably going to win if they wanted to. Could probably fucking win British titles, mate.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, they're fucking. It's hard to learn to be. Like, I'm just going to put you in with loads of pro boxers that have had 10 fights every week on week. Yeah. So you can't be shit and fight 10. Let's say the goal is just to not get knocked out.
Yeah.
How much skill do you think you're developing? Like, imagine, you're going to fight black belts every week. Yeah. All you got to do is not get tapped. How good is your defence going to be? Your defence is going to be fire.
It's true.
Some of these guys have had 150 fights.
Yeah,
their defence is unbelievable.
It's true. It's true.
And they're choosing not to fire back. Now imagine they chose to fire back.
Yeah. And what's the reason they're choosing?
Now imagine you're throwing shots at me and you're missing. You block. I'm blocking. I go, Ollie, I'm going to start hitting you back in a minute. I'm missing. Now imagine I start hitting you back. You think, I ain't landing a fucking punch. And he ain't even hit me back yet.
Right.
Yeah? They're really fucking skilled fighters.
And why are they not fighting back? Why are they not going for these wins? Why are they
if you're a journeyman and you have 10 fights and you've knocked out 5 of your opponents, what promoter...
Yeah.
Ollie sells 150 tickets.
Yeah, no, of course.
Ollie sells 150 tickets. This journeyman here has had 15 fights. He's knocked out 8 opponents.
Yeah.
Ollie sells 500 tickets. All right, I've got this opponent for you. He knocks Ollie out. Ollie don't fancy boxing no more.
Not Ollie, say Dave. We've coated Dave off enough anyway.
Right, sorry, Dave. Dave sold 500 tickets. Dave gets knocked out.
Yeah.
Dave now gets flatlined.
Yeah.
Dave don't want to box no more.
Right.
On your next show, Dave ain't bringing 500 tickets. Is
Yeah.
So promoter A don't want fighter A getting knocked out.
No, I get that side of it, but why do they not become the prospects themselves? Why do they not have the ambition?
A lot of them can't sell tickets.
And it's as simple as that.
That's normally it. Well, tickets are a pain in the arse if not organised properly.
And they just get to a point where they just accept I'm a journeyman now, and that's it. This is what I do for a living.
Yeah, guaranteed money as well.
Right.
Guaranteed money. I've got to do nothing. All I've got, a lot of them, mate.
Being attacked by aliens, aren't we?
That was the dog, I think.
It was the dog, yeah. Right, we're good. We're alive.
I lost my train of thought. A lot of them will be Friday night eating a takeaway at home, and the promoter might ring them up and go, "You want to fight tomorrow?
Which is,
$2,000?" They go, "Yeah, why not?"
And that's better than working on a building site for them, because that's
some of them do both.
Right.
So they work a week. They work a week,
and it's just a nice little upgrade of life, if you like, because they're getting paid a lot.
Just think, if they do a couple of fights a month,
a
couple of grand a fight, $4,000, $4,000 a month.
Right.
What's that? $48,000 a year.
They're good enough to not really get hurt as well.
$48,000 a year, cash in hand,
right,
on top of your job.
Yeah, and they're not really getting hurt because, as you said, they're very skillful.
If they're good, a lot of what people don't understand is how many journeymen start the circuit, have 4 or 5 fights, and think, "Fuck that." Because
not for me. Because
remember, you're going back to that 0-0 record again.
Yeah, right.
So they're fighting people quite often under 10 fights. Sometimes a journeyman step in from a more experienced fighter, or a tune-up or a gap filler, but a lot of the time it's the guys on their way up.
Right.
And a lot of the time it's the guys on their debut. You could get a guy that's just won the Olympics.
Right. 2-time ABAs.
You'd know if they've won the Olympics, but it could be 2 times that. They could be from another country and they've won the nationals there 14 years in a row. And then they've come over here, 0-0-0. And you think, oh no, and he's never done any amateur. There's nothing online about his amateur. They know nothing. These German even research. They don't give a fuck about any of that. They just need to be good.
Yeah.
They just need to be fucking good.
Yeah.
So you could tomorrow say, right, I'm going to be a journeyman. First geezer you get is an ex-Olympian. Boom.
Yeah.
Devastating.
Yeah.
You need to be Christian Late. You need to be good enough. You need to be Jordan Granham. You need to be good enough to not get your head punched in, no matter who it is.
Right. Do you remember Sid Razak? Remember that guy, Sid Razak, Asian guy? I think he was from Wolverhampton or Birmingham or something like that. And he was a journeyman, but every now and then he'd crack someone and put them over. And he'd have like a tear up, and he would like have it, and he was like that kind of exciting journeyman. Sort of like maybe what we know, 2025, probably 12-ish years ago, he was on the scene, and he was exciting. You know what I mean? But they're out there. But like my bigger question, I guess, and you did answer it, but is like. What point do they accept it? But
it's all different.
It's all different.
Yeah. Some of them they think fuck selling tickets. Some of them just couldn't sell a ticket from the start. Some of them just think, oh, do you know, I'm not going to go that far anyway. I might as well make money. All different reasons. I hope this ain't going to pick up the dog.
No, that's all right. No. No animals were harmed during the filming.
I'm going to shut this door. And I'm going to move back on to what I was saying about Jake Paul. Okay. So a lot of fighters will fight 10 journeymen.
Right.
About 10. You know, it could be 8, could be 9, whatever. They'll mostly fight journeymen. In the first few fights of their career.
Gotcha.
When you look at Jake Paul, yes, he hasn't been fighting active boxers and what have you, or, you know, random fighters, I don't know, fucking basketball players, UFC fighters, whatever. But in a world where nothing's fixed, he's still fought active fighters. Yeah. All of them have been active fighters, or a version of an active fighter. Yeah, you've got, what was it, Tyrone Woodley.
Twice, yeah.
Did you fight him twice?
Beat him first time on points, then he got him late notice and knocked him spark out. Anderson Silva.
Yeah, he's boxed all these. They're still active fighters. So whilst I'm not. I think we're yet to know what level Jake Paul's at. I don't think we know what level he's at. Listen, he's fucking million miles away from Anthony Joshua. Don't take anything from that fight. Yeah. In my opinion, remember, I'm just going to give you my version of the whole thing here. You can't take nothing from that. Anthony Joshua moped about, had a good time and got his fucking money. Didn't care whether he knocked him out in the first round or whatever. And then I think he had enough and was like, better get him out of it. Yeah. My opinion. People can say I'm wrong. Don't give a fuck. That's my take on that. But I do think he's a legit boxer now. Yeah, I do. I don't think we know what level he's at.
Right.
I think because the most active, legit, equal, fair fight he had was Tommy Fury, which he lost. Albeit he didn't get beat up, didn't get smashed up.
Dropped him.
You could call it a close fight that he lost, right? Yeah. Lost a close decision to Tommy Fury, who was, I don't know, 8, 9 fights at the time. Might have been a bit more, but let's say 10 fights. They were about 10 fights. He was about that level. Yeah, he lost the fight, but it wasn't, it was, about...
One of them when it could have gone, whatever.
Tommy was the guy that probably fought 8 or 9 journeymen, as he should at that part of his career. So you could say that at that time, it's been a while now, at that time he was probably approaching Southern Area level, getting ready to fight for a Southern Area title, maybe in English in the next 6 months. So things have changed now. I'm not saying he's better or worse. At one stage, was he around that level? Quite possibly. Now, maybe he's further. Maybe he's not. You can't judge it on the Joshua fight. Load of shit. I would like to see him. I want to see what level he's at. He did fight Chavez Jr.
Who's a world champion.
Who was a world champion. Yeah. That's legit. But he is also a dodgy bastard. Yeah. He is someone that would fix a fight and not give a flying fuck. He is, I think, historically known to be a bit of a dodgy bastard. Yeah, he's not fixed fights, but he's not his dad.
No, he's not his dad. And he was a world champion, though.
He probably was eating takeaway food and drinking beer.
Yeah. And they fought a cruiserweight. I think he was world champion super middle, wasn't he? So that's a bit of a difference. Yeah. But at the same time, he's been known as lazy. Even so, that's what I'm getting at.
You did that sparring with Carl Froch. Now imagine you just did open sparring with Carl Froch or an open fight with Carl Froch. Listen, age is age, man, but skill is still skill.
He's getting double legged.
Chavez is still as good as he was. Not as good as he was, but he still knows what he does.
Yeah, I agree.
I would like to see him. I would like to find out what level he's at. What I'm saying. I'd like to see what level is he actually at. I'd be interested in.
But that's the one. That's what I would bring up is the Chavez one. Now I know he's past his prime Chavez and stuff like that, but I'm sure you have as well. Sparred with like high level people, right? Boxing, and there's certain things like when you're in front of these people, and it's like. I'm not talking about Carl Froch because we're body sparring and messing around, right? But like I've been in there back in the day. Carl, you got no chance, mate. Leave it alone. Just leave it. No, I'm joking. But it's like, I'll challenge you to a Jiu Jitsu match. No, but he's when you're in front of these people when they're on their game, there's certain little subtle things they do, right? And it's just like bit different there. And like Chavez has got that in there somewhere, hasn't he? Like if he's past these, Jake Paul still beat him. Do you know what I mean? He still beat him, isn't he? Do you know what I mean? So I go like, I agree with you. You don't know what level he's at.
Is it the care though? Like,
yeah.
If you don't care.
That's different, yeah. And especially if you're getting, I don't know what he's getting paid, but it would have been a lot, right? Yeah. Chavez for that fight. Yeah. So a part of him probably like, if you get in there and it's a little bit harder than you think, that's the thing too, isn't it? If you get in there and it's a bit harder than you think it's going to be, and you kind of go, get paid anyway.
Fuck it, I'm getting paid anyway.
There is that kind of mindset, right?
Go on, buddy.
The champ is here. The champ is here.
Interrupted by my boy again. Yeah. Just shut the doors behind you, buddy, because the dog's making a lot of noise.
But yeah, with the Chavez one, he's, you know, he lost to Anderson Silva as well, didn't he? So Anderson Silva's like obviously.
Chavez lost to Anderson Silva
as well, yeah.
Oh, because it kind of shows where he's currently at with his.
Right, but it does, but also it shows that Anderson Silva's can really box as well. Do you know what I mean?
He was always good with his hands anyway.
Yeah, he was
good with his hands anyway.
I mean, he's very getting up there in age now, Anderson.
It's funny because when you come from the boxing bubble originally, I used to look at. As they all do, and I was one of them, and go, ain't no way one of these UFC fighters is going to stand a fucking chance in a boxing match against like, ain't going to happen. My opinion's heavily changed, by the way, in all aspects of all that shit. I was one of them, the boxers that would be, you'll clip him and that'll be it. Good boy. But now my opinion's heavily changed on all that stuff. I think they've still been training for a fucking very long time. Maybe they haven't just been focusing on the boxing, they've been doing everything else. But from what I said earlier about what I've taken from MMA training, Jiu Jitsu training, judo training, there are elements of MMA training that boxers could do with implementing within their schools.
Very good, yeah.
And this is why some of them MMA fighters have done well against the boxers.
Yeah.
They're also throwing some unconventional punches, which are a pain in the ass. Imagine I've taught someone how to box traditional boxing, jab, cross, hook, uppercuts. Anthony Joshua's very, very, very textbook. The more untextbook or the more wild they are, the more awkward it is. Now imagine I showed you a style that was based around all awkward shots. But it isn't just random wild haymakers, it is a calculated haymaker. It's a calculated random punch. Yeah, it's unconventional. Imagine all you practice was unconventional shots all the time. That would be a pain in the ass for any boxer. Yeah. Because I know that, right, if I'm fighting you, I know probably a jab. I can jab, I can jab, I can jab, I can slip. Well, I teach my fighters all the time, when you're fighting a boxer, the jab's coming. Always expect that. You can always rely on that to be something to work around. Slip inside, slip outside, parry, and parry out. Well, whatever, you've got that. But if they don't ever throw jabs, and all they ever throw is, I don't know, an uppercut followed by an overhand right every time they lead off, every time, vroom, 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 you're going to have to rethink your defence. Yeah. But imagine that they've trained that way, though. So it's not a random uppercut. The uppercut is their jab. Yeah. It's like fighting a southpaw. Yeah. Everything they do is different. Yeah, right. So when you're fighting an unconventional boxer like that, and I think that's what the MMA fighters are giving the boxers problem, because their jabs are not quite the same. Their right hand's not quite the same. The right hook's not quite the same. Right. A lot of the MMA fighters throw a right hand, boom. The boxers set that up. They don't just throw that. Yeah, right, MMA fighters throw that randomly. Yeah. They'll wait, and they go, boom, throw big right hands. Yeah. The boxers don't really do that as much.
Right, and if you're not expecting it,
that's what it. And I think that's how the MMA fighters are done so well. They're throwing, not quite expecting it. You're expecting jab, cross, hook. Yeah. So I'm going to go block. Yeah. And all of a sudden they go, right hand over top, fucking left uppercut, and some other wild shit. And I'm like, fuck. Yeah. And I think that's why the MMA fighters are doing well.
Yeah, I agree. And it works both ways, obviously, doesn't it? Because the MMA fighter can never stand the same way, they've got too much worrying about, right? So, like, when something's going on...
in the boxing match, the pressure's on the boxer.
That's what I'm getting at, yeah.
There's no pressure for you to lose, to win or lose.
So it can go one or two ways. The Ngannou versus Fury versus Ngannou versus Joshua, right? Now, I don't necessarily think it's easier for Joshua to fight him style-wise. I just think it's easier to fight him second. Do you see where I'm coming from? Yeah. You've seen him once, right?
He was, no.
Right. There you go.
Nothing.
There you go. Yeah, it's true. But I've got to call you out because I don't like the way you said you blocked my jab all day. You know what I mean? Listen, Big Dave, come over where we are. But with the going forward with the MMA and all this kind of stuff, they keep crossing over. I want to see that stuff go away now. I want to see like boxers box, MMA fighters box. If you want to switch over, go and do your thing. But like these kind of gimmicky fights, I feel like it's run its course now. Do you know what I mean? I feel like it's like I don't want to see that anymore.
I don't like it, but I see the need and the appeal. I think it should be called something else. Right. It should be called the Misfits, for example, is a great way of doing it. What they're saying is they're not necessarily saying we're the elite boxers in the world. We're not trying to challenge you. We're just our own thing. We're going to put celebrity matches together, if you want to call it that. Yeah, exactly. I don't know if that's the right word. I don't know. I've watched only one or two. I don't know if I've watched two. Right. Yeah. You put from my knowledge, they're putting KSI against Andrew Tate or whatever. That should be its own thing. It's ultra white collar or it's whatever it is.
Yeah, I got you.
But it's not professional boxing.
No,
it's not professional boxing. I think it should be separate.
Yeah.
And you need to have done something legit to be considered in that boxing.
I think it will come round, right? Because it's got to get more regulated. Because sooner or later, someone's going to get really hurt in there, aren't they?
I think most of the hate comes from the fact that you can fight a YouTuber and make 50 million.
Right, that's a problem.
As opposed to fighting a 5-time ABA champion for a Southern Area title and 500 quid.
I was going to say 500 quid was, yeah.
You're fighting a 5-time ABA champion who could absolutely mess your brain up.
But that goes back to the bubble. Like people, like you say, me and you know exactly. If we're sat here now and I said to you, I'm a 5-time ABA champion, you know what that means. But if someone else, they go, whatever, right? That doesn't mean anything, does it? Do you know what I mean? But like how dangerous that person could be fighting someone, but that's another thing. The other one, Andrew Tate, you mentioned him before.
I'm fighting KSI and I'm fighting the 5-time ABA champion. People are going to be, they're going to know he is. Yeah. Oh, that'd be good. He's pretty good at it. One of my little cousins years ago, when it first all come about, he went, it was KSI against, I don't know, another YouTuber, and he was like, kept saying, it'll be a really good fight, wouldn't it? And I was like, will it? Will it though? Yeah, Brandon, I'm calling you out for that. He goes, it'd be good though, wouldn't it? And I was like, what, 2 non-boxers fighting? Yeah, it'd be great, mate.
Yeah, brilliant.
It'd be like 2 other random strangers that have never fought in their life fighting.
Right,
But the kids are so excited because they're in that YouTube phase, and that's why. And I think a lot of the hate from the combat sport comes from jealousy is the word I want to use because they're getting a lot of attention. They sell a lot of tickets, but it's not because of the ability they're boxing. It's got fuck all to do with that.
Yeah.
Boxing's exciting, and it wouldn't work the same if they were saying, right, KSI versus Jake Paul in a basketball match.
Yeah. Don't care, right?
Don't care.
No,
the boxing match is different.
Yeah.
It seems like.
But also, again, going back to the uneducated eye, not that I'm trying to sit here like we're 2 wizards and we know everything, but we know what we're looking at to an extent. Whereas if you don't know, for some people, 2 very classy boxers might be more boring to watch than 2 blokes having a tear up that don't know what they're doing. Because at least you can kind of make sense of what they're doing, right? They're just throwing wild shots. One's hit the other one, he's gone over. Whereas 2 technical boxers slipping and sliding. How many times you watched it with people that don't know what they're watching?
They neutralise each other.
Today.
They neutralise each other.
Right,
that's
exactly.
People don't get.
Yeah, but going back to Andrew Tate, like, did you watch his recent fight?
I don't know if I watched that one.
So, like, I watched highlights of it, right? So I didn't see it. So maybe it's not the fairest thing, but it was bad, right? It didn't look good. It didn't look like a boxing match. However, this is kind of to the point where he said he was world champion kickboxer, right? And I've spoke to people that were world champion kickboxers as well that knew Andrew Tate from the scene, and they said he was like proper, legit, serious fighter. But you watch that and he doesn't look it, but you're changing the rules, you're changing everything, right? But it didn't look good the other night. But if you didn't see it, we can't go too deep on it. But it's like it's strange to me how, I mean, money. So I'm answering my own question here, but like he's been at the top level and he's fighting essentially a novice in boxing and losing, right? You can say you want to challenge yourself and whatnot.
Many different things, though, isn't there? There's also different governing bodies in kickboxing, like there is in the judo.
Of course, yeah. There's different styles,
There's loads of them. I don't know all the intricate details. There's like Class A, Class B, Class C, Class D.
Above the waist.
This organisation, that organisation, different organisation, blah blah blah. They're all wild. So, and I'm not discounting what Andrew Tate. I've absolutely no idea.
Yeah.
I know that he was a world champion multiple times. I've actually seen some of his fights. Watched some of his fights. Yep, he's beating people up. He can fight. Like the average geezer, mate, he's getting his head punched in by Andrew Tate. You might look at him and think, oh, he looks rubbish. Yep, of course he does.
Yeah, stand in front of him, see what happens.
Yep, of course he looks. Because he's neutralised by people of equal level. And even some of them he's sparking out.
Yeah.
But that was years ago, and it's a different sport.
Yeah, and that's what the different sport is a big one.
It would be like asking Gordon Ryan to have 10 years out and then have a wrestling match against someone that's actively competing in wrestling.
Right.
It's different rules, it's kind of grappling,
Yeah.
or a judo match.
Yeah.
It's still kind of grappling,
Yeah.
but you've had 10 years out and it's not quite the same rules.
It's not quite the same.
Or
Or even if you ain't had 10 years out, it's still different rules, isn't it?
It's different rules. Yeah. So I think that...
I'm going to throw a curveball at you. Did you see Yoel Romero recently? Have you not seen this? So Yoel Romero's 48 and he wrestled a guy who I believe's the same weight as him now, who's 28, who's on the Olympic US team.
Okay.
And beats him 12-0, tech falls him.
No.
Completely. You got to watch it. It's mad. It's one of them ones you watch, and you know when you're kind of trying to have a internal dialogue with yourself, and it's just nothing. You're just speechless. You're watching this freak, and you're going like, oh, like. But that's a side note. That's a curveball. He's a freak anyway, right? And like Yoel Romero, he's got the wrestling singlet on, and he like that throws a blast double at one point. Yeah. I've seen highlights, granted, so I don't know how one-sided it was, but he did win 12-0. So he's they're out there.
Apparently, Jake Paul's brother was a legit wrestler, wasn't he?
I think so.
I know he does WWE, but I think he was a
actual wrestler. Yeah.
College wrestler. Yeah. People go college like just college. No, it's not
it's
school.
Not.
It's not like that.
This
like,
is proper level.
That's elite. I think he's D1 wrestler. Apparently,
was he? Yeah, I don't know. If he was a D1, that's like
that makes him fucking
serious.
Legit, mate.
Yeah,
fucking legit.
I've seen him. I've seen the video. I'm sure you've seen it of him grappling sparring with Paulo Costa. You know, have you seen it at the UFC PA? You know Paulo Costa is, right? Yeah. So they're grappling. Yeah, mate. He can proper scramble and wrestle.
I don't think he can do jiu-jitsu, but he can wrestle.
Yeah, no, exactly. Yeah, it looked like a wrestling match.
Which gives you control. Yeah, man. Gives you control.
Wrestlers are the best athletes I've ever been around as well. I don't know if you've had much experience around pure wrestlers. I've done bits and pieces. I went to Bulgaria with my wrestling coach once years ago, and like just grappling with him. Shout out Luba. I mentioned him probably every episode, but it's different, mate. A wrestling level of athleticism. Forget skills, which is obviously there in abundance of people at that level. But the athleticism of a wrestler when you grab them is like. This is different. Do you know what I mean? Like jiu-jitsu guys, as skillful as they are, we've all rolled with people that are very unathletic. They've got bad knees, bad everything. They'll catch you in a triangle, land on their back.
The gas tank of people. I'm the gas tank of different sports. You can tell.
Well, being on your feet is hard. Yeah. You know from judo.
When I started jiu-jitsu, boxing helped me immensely. Right. Might have been psychological as well because the difference between walking out in front of thousands of people you sold tickets to get smashed in ain't the same as walking out to 12 mats where no one's watching Masters Division 2 white belts. No. It's not the same.
There's 2 4-year-olds competing against each other over there.
It's not the same, but I fucking lost the train of thought again.
Well, I probably cut you off, didn't I, with my 4-year-old comment? But yeah, with energy, you were saying about energy.
Oh yeah, so going into white belt competitions, the gas tank that I had was insane. Bear in mind, by the time I got to jiu-jitsu, I weren't like a full-time professional boxer, man. I'd had years out. I'd been eating cheeseburgers and drinking beer and watching TV.
Okay.
I was not out of shape, but I was not boxing fit.
Right.
Boxing, fighting fit is worlds different.
What did you weigh when you started doing jiu-jitsu and grappling?
Oh, my first comp was 91.
And you weren't a boxing 91?
No, I competed after, but I think about 8 weeks training, then did grapple industry.
Oh, nice.
But it was. I remember the first match because he looked terrified, not because of me, because it's probably his first tournament, and he was like.
But he's probably his first combat
the
ever.
Adrenaline's going, his gas tank's draining, and I just bum rushed him immediately. And my jiu-jitsu was horrible. It was horrible. I think I got him in a headlock, I swung him around a couple of times, I threw him over my head.
Hey, they all work, mate.
But his gas tank went, and that's what helped me. And I try to say to people all the time, whatever combat sport you're doing, man, gas tank's going to make a big difference.
And it's an interesting point now. You said gas tank as well, but I think for someone like yourself going into it with the background you had, it's not just gas tank. It's more relaxed in terms of like using your energy efficiently. Because like you said, you're looking at him going, all right. Whereas for him, this might be the first competitive thing he's ever done. And he's looking at you going,
this is the world championship.
Do you know what I mean? And you're like, listen, mate, I was at the York Hall a couple of years ago.
It's not even that. It's like, as I say, there's 2 4-year-olds wrestling next to me.
Right. It's not a big deal to you. Yeah. Right.
There's barely any people in the hall watching. And who's watching the Masters Division? Who's watching Masters Division 2 white belts over him, man? No one. Don't worry about it. The expectations are low, bro. Don't worry.
Yeah, okay. And how long have you been a blue belt now?
Couple of years.
All right, so we might be next time we come back down here, there might be a different colour wrapped around your waist. Maybe in judo, anyway.
Maybe I'm going to sandbag for a couple of years.
Oh, you're going to be that guy, yeah. Master 7, still a blue belt.
Yeah. I've only got 9 stripes at the minute. So.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, he's got his own stripes, keeps taking them off and throwing them in the corner.
Dave gave me stripes a little while ago, right?
Big Dave?
No, the coach is called
Different Dave.
I says to Dave, don't know where you waste your tape, mate. I'm going to wash them off later. And I go to him, listen. People are either not washing their belts, you dirty bastards, wash your belt, or they're striping their own belts.
Striping their own
Check your ego, man.
That's bad,
why are you striping your own belt? So you're not washing your belt or you're striping your own belt?
Either one's a no. You can't strike your own belt.
No, I mean, I bet you look like a guy that puts the dates on them.
Listen. Let me tell you my relationship with belts, because I don't, right? Until very recently, I just got 4 stripes given to me on my belt, right? Yeah. Before that, the last stripe I'd ever got was the 3rd one on my white belt, right? Listen, so I'm sitting there, and I was the guy that was going, stripes are stupid. I don't care about stripes. Stripes are stupid. We was at grading, and people were getting stripes, and I'm sitting there going to my mate who's also a brown belt. We were sitting there, and he was going, like, stripes. Stripes. Then all of a sudden, they called us out for 4. I'm standing there with my stripes on. I come down, I sat next to him after. I went, Charlie, I really fucking like stripes, bro. So that's my experience with stripes.
My thing with the stripes is, I think for white belt really matters to keep them, because you don't get graded quickly.
Right.
In jiu-jitsu, you don't. I think it really matters at white belt for their care, to show them and to show you respectfully. White belts in and out all the time. You can't keep track of all of them there.
Yeah.
I think that's part of the process. After that, I think that most guys you can tell where they're at.
Yeah, you can. Yeah,
Yeah,
you can. Yeah.
The only difference I suppose would see if you're trying to compare the difference between a club blue belt and a competition blue belt. Very, very different things. You'll be a no-stripe competition blue belt and you're battering a 4-stripe non-competition blue belt. It's not even close. That means why the coach needs to do it. I don't see value in stripes after the white belt. I understand people care and they give a shit. I think I had fucking 9 stripes on my white belt.
See, I would agree with this no stripes about 2 weeks ago.
It's not that I don't see value in them. I just think after that, I think it matters a little bit less.
Yeah, no, I agree.
It matters a little bit less. Some people do, and it's a whole thing that's.
Yeah, I tell you where I see it sometimes though with other belts, like in the blue belt and purple belt, because you can be there a long time, right? And I never got any stripes, so this is not about me. But like when I see people, I do feel like it can give them a bit of a spur on. You know, if you've been a blue belt,
some people need it.
Right, that's what I'm getting at. If you've been a blue belt, say you're, I don't know, just as an example, you work in an office, you train 3 days a week, you've got 2 kids, you're 40, you do jiu-jitsu, you love doing it, you're having a bit of a period, you've been a blue belt for 4 years, give him 2 stripes. I think sometimes that can just, do you see what I mean? It just gives you that little, okay, this is working, I'm doing it, and purple belt's there now.
Dave might never give my purple belt if I keep taking stripes off. I'm not even sandbagging, I'll just wash it.
Dave, we've got to get you in and tell your side of the story, mate. We've got a dirty sandbagger in our midst.
Nah, fuck you, keep the stripes on there, man.
Are there stripes in judo as well?
No, there's not.
There's not? Okay, cool. Cool.
I think it's a bit like there's a junior syllabus, a bit like in Jiu Jitsu where they've got grey and stripe. Yellow stripe. I think they might have that.
Right.
They don't have stripes.
They don't come and put stripes on your belt because
it's a different journey.
Right.
People think it's the same. It's not.
It's not.
Let's say you called a black belt in Jiu Jitsu. You called a downgrade in judo.
Okay.
The belt is black, but it's not called always a black belt. It's a downgrade.
Listen, mate, if I ever get one, I'm telling everyone I'm a black belt in judo. Don't worry about that.
Yeah, I mean, I will. But that's how they'll describe it. They'll say, you're a black belt in Jiu-Jitsu, he's a downgrade in judo.
Okay.
I mean different things.
Okay.
Downgrade in judo means you know the syllabus, you know the moves.
Okay.
Downgrade, that's what it means. It means you've been through the syllabus, you know that you've got all the information. Now you got to learn to implement it.
Right, okay.
It means completely different
things. So
things.
a black belt's almost like a different stage of the journey.
Absolutely.
Right, okay,
absolutely.
that makes
sense.
Now
you know. It's a bit like, really dumb it down. Let's say there's 3 punches in boxing. A jab, a cross, and a hook. And then there's 6 if you want to mirror it on the other side.
Yep.
I'll give you a black belt when you know all 3 punches.
Right.
And now you've got to learn how to use them.
Right, okay.
Just because you know them, don't mean you know how to use them.
I got you. That makes sense.
Just got to learn how to use them. That's kind of what the black belt means in judo. It's very, very different.
That's interesting.
And you'll find that a lot of, the more you start listening on judo and or following any of it like you do with your jiu-jitsu and your boxing, a lot of top athletes have a handful of throws that they use. And they're just fuck all you can do about it.
Yeah.
They don't use 58 throws from the syllabus. They use 2 or 3. You know it's coming.
Yeah.
You know Teddy Rayner?
Rayner. French
guy.
Yeah.
He's got 1 or 2 throws. They know it's coming. Fuck what they can do about it.
Yeah, I believe in that. I think there's something to that, man. Like, again, I mentioned him earlier, Deontay Wilder. Like, in boxing, he's not a Lomachenko, is he? But in his day, he's one, to me, and I'll argue with anyone on this, like, in his day, he'd give anyone trouble, right? I'm not saying it'd be...
Absolute haymaker.
He'd give anyone trouble because he had that punch and it was like... He knew how to land it, and he weren't interested. The Luis Ortiz one is one of them fights I've watched a couple of times with him. The second one.
Oh yeah.
When he's getting boxed up, but it's like, to me, that showed how, and people can argue all they want. That showed how great he was because he knows he ain't trying to box with him. He was just calm, watching it, waiting for his moment, and like bang, got it. Boom, finish. You know,
that would have been the way he would have beat Tyson Fury if he could kept him down.
Well, I think I've said this before as well on here. That was when he started to decline. You can argue, of course, as well, and it's a massive part of it that Tyson Fury beat him out of him, right? And I think that works both ways. I think he took something from Tyson as well, a little bit, blah, blah, blah. But it's also, after that, he started to learn to box a little bit too much for me. Do you see where I'm coming from?
Sorry.
No, you're right,
Dogs
mate.
in the garden, set cameras off.
Do you see what I mean? He almost got away with what got him there. He was never going to catch the other guys in boxing ability. He didn't have enough time left in life.
I think would have been a good... And it might be past it, but they could still probably do it. Instead of fighting Fury multiple times, which I think Fury was probably going to win most of the time, just too good, and he was durable enough to take the shots.
That's what made it, exactly.
That's what fucked it.
That's what got him,
because he just couldn't knock him out.
Couldn't get rid of him.
I actually think it would be great to see Wilder versus Joshua.
Right.
A few times.
Right.
Like, if they had 7 fights, it's going to be 4-3.
Yeah, do you think, Yeah.
It's going to be 4-3.
We can't have it out.
No, I'm joking.
But he's fighting Usyk next, doesn't he, Deontay? Usyk wants him.
Again, fucking terrifying for Usyk.
Well, here's the thing. Now I think he's past his prime. But I honestly believe in his prime, Wilder had a chance. I'm not saying he would have, but I think he'd have had a real chance of beating Usyk.
I think he's got a chance against most men on the planet.
Ever.
Because
it's
of his
like
absolute haymaker.
absolute power, yeah.
And it's wild.
Yeah.
As we said earlier, I'm expecting boom, 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 boom. I'm expecting...
Ain't no one got time for that, bro.
He ain't got that. He's fucking holding his breath and he's fucking... I'm going to hit you on the shoulder, the arms. I'm going to hit you everywhere.
Well, I'll tell you one of my favourite things to watch, and this is a bit weird, but it's not one of my favourite things to watch. Let's not get crazy. But like something I've watched every now and then, over and over.
The internet history says that ain't your favourite thing to watch.
Whoa! Easy now. But is when he knocked out Dominic Brazil.
Okay, yeah.
Because that you've seen it, right? That's like magic. He like walks towards him, throws a shot, looks effortless, and just like he goes to sleep before he's. It's just like to me, that's like people be watching that in 1,000 years. Do you know what I'm saying? It's like one of them things where it's like, mate, he was special, and people forget. Sorry, the dog eating the house.
No, he's in the garden.
Yeah, but I'm a big fan of Wilder, but I think I'd like to see him stop now because I think he's past that point now.
I think he's well past it.
Yeah.
They say the power's the last thing to go. And power's all he really had anyway.
Right.
I would say, look, I think people will pay to see him and Joshua. People complain that they're past it. I think it's irrelevant. I think it's irrelevant. I think they're both monstrous punchers. And I think whoever lands clean first is probably icing the other one.
Who would have won in the prime, do you think?
Would it be unfair to say it looks like Wilder's a little bit more durable? But then he got knocked out by Fury, who isn't such a monstrous puncher. But you get hit clean with enough of them, and you know.
It's over.
So you can't. I'm contradicting myself, but what I'm looking at is Anthony Joshua with fucking 98% knockout record, and Tyson Fury, which was perhaps 60-70%, like a normal heavyweight knockout ratio versus a fucking crazy. But Fury is considerably more slick than Joshua.
Right.
I would like to think. I don't know. I just think Fury had an unconventional style. He was throwing the weird shots like Wilder.
Yeah.
The jab's coming from here or it's coming from here. He's throwing weird shots and he's hard to hit. And I think that's what does it.
And his durability is massive. That's what going through the Wilder fight, because 4 times he went down against Wilder.
And I think people fucking forget that he beat Klitschko first.
Yes, he did. He took the belt off him.
He's the one that took it away before Joshua did. He's the one that dethroned the unbeatable.
And no one gave him a chance really either, did they? Back then.
He outclassed him. He was fucking chilling with that. He was celebrating. He's having a good time. He outboxed him.
Yeah.
Whereas Joshua had a war with him. He had a battle with him.
Yeah.
And I'm not. It's just different styles.
Yeah.
The Joshua fight was probably way more entertaining. Joshua
definitely.
Way more
By
entertaining.
far, yeah.
Fucking well good heavyweight fight.
Yeah.
Because Fury made it look easy.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. But
people can say, oh, he got old. He weren't saying he got old when Joshua boxed him a little while later. He was saying, oh my God, he just knocked him out.
And he'd been at the ring for 18 months.
He just learned to lose against Fury.
Yeah.
He learned how to lose 6 months before that. Yeah. Before that, he kind of knew, but it had been a long time.
Yeah.
10 years or something, I think it had been.
Yeah, I think it was more. I think it might have been 12 or something. I might be wrong on that, but yeah, it was a long time. But mate, listen, this has been brilliant. I could talk to you all day. We're definitely doing episode 3, 4, 5, 6, hopefully as well. We come in, we put our judo belts just subtly in the corner, just so. I didn't realise I left that there like one of them jobs. But mate, you know the drill. Before we finish, most important question. I forgot what your answer was last time, so I'm going to keep your fingers crossed. Which football team do you support?
Anyone that beats West Ham.
Chelsea, very good. Well done. Thanks for coming, my man. Mate, I always finish with the fists up like this. Squeeze the neck. Boom!